Welcome to Statesmen, the podcast where we explore all 50 states with our five senses. If you've come here for history, we'll give you some. But most of this is half-baked opinion that is never intended to harm or offend anyone. Behold, a gate. Beyond an idle song the west calls, yet low, sitting calm in twain between mountains rocky and Mississippi muddy, lies a waning swath of field atop cavernous curves below. Secrets below like gnashing teeth to the wind scream, "Show me! Show me everything, because it is the show me state. Show me everything, but don't show or flash me your genitals. We welcome you to Missouri.
Here come them dang statesman boys again.
I'm your older statesman, Tim Ferrari, along with my junior statesman, Anthony Rossi.
I'm in the business of Missouri. Take it from the top.
And Stuart Icon.
Mademoiselles et messieurs, Missouri, that is.
Okay.
Paris, France.
Yeah, some plural forms of Missouri.
Yes, yeah. That actually read to all our international listeners. So.
Yeah, all what?
100.
100? I don't know. I think we actually do have a few international listeners.
I think
Not
after...
anymore.
Oh, yeah. They've been horribly offended by my accent. To all of our international listeners, happy day. Always an exciting time to be living in one of the 6 other continents of the world.
Yeah, I mean, in one of the continents, they're celebrating the Chinese New Year right now.
Ah, yes. And do any of you here speak any words of Mandarin Chinese?
No.
Nope, not a one. Maybe, I don't know if it's Mandarin or if it's Cantonese or any sort of dialect, but ni hao. I know that one.
That was good. Our guest is nodding no and putting his shoes back on. Yeah, I think he's leaving. Tim.
No, that's not a thing.
I think it is. I think it's like a hello and maybe a Cantonese or something.
I thought there was like a Nick Jr. show, Ni Hao Kai Lan or...
Ni Hao Kai Lan,
Yeah.
yes. That little, she's like a little Chinese girl and she has like a tiger friend.
Yeah, I don't know all that much about the show, but I know the title of it.
Look, we should honestly just be staying away from China this entire show. What with the coronavirus.
Yes.
Speaking of tiger friends, you know who has a tiger friend? Calvin.
Calvin
Yes,
what?
yeah.
Calvin Harris?
Calvin Harris?
Are you going to mention
No.
Calvin Harris?
No, Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
You know who else has a tiger friend? That indubitable little scamp Pie, eh?
Yeah, you know who else has a tiger friend?
Who?
Winnie.
yes.
Yes. Piglet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
Rabbit.
Do you think Obama?
Rabbit?
The wise owl.
You think Obama and Tiger Woods are friends?
Why on earth would they be friends?
I don't know. You know, Obama seems to be friends with a lot of people. Maybe Tiger Woods is friends with a lot of people as well.
Should we
That's a
start
great
this
point.
episode over?
I thought, no, we already started. We are starting from a great place. And speaking of a great place, Tim, this week, have you visited any great places? Done any great things?
I haven't been home in like 5 days. I don't think I slept over. I don't think I've slept in this apartment for like a good week.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
you've been in and out. It's been wild. Usually,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's out of the apartment a whole lot, sleeping at my girlfriend's place. But
Cool.
you've been sick flex.
Yeah.
But you've been in and out, man. I
Yeah.
feel like every time I see you, you're passing through. It's wild.
It is. I'm seeing a girl. I think that's why I'm in and out of this place now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that is why.
That is why.
You're sleeping somewhere else.
I'm sleeping
That's
somewhere else. Well, yes. It
Not
could
much
be.
sleeping going on is what you're trying to say.
Okay, stop. Disgusting,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, coronavirus.
Do you have a tiger friend?
Yeah, I do. I'm also friends with Obama.
Anthony, how about you? You do anything, speaking of tigers, you do any striping this week?
Yeah, I did some striping, painted my whole body, and ran around the neighborhood.
Oh, boy.
No, it's actually been a really relaxing week for me. I've been getting good sleep. I've been getting to
Wow.
bed by 10 p.m. on weeknights, which is really huge for me, considering I wake up so early to go to the office and, making the donuts.
Yeah, but you're also known in Chicago as a bit of an international party boy. So, like, to be asleep that
Yeah,
early is
that's true.
surprising.
Right. And I don't know. It's been really helpful. getting to bed, and it just helps me maintain my positive attitude throughout the week. So
one thought that I had, or really question that I was contemplating last night before going to bed is, would you rather snort cocaine off of Post Malone's hard penis or eat his asshole?
what?
Okay, we're gonna pause. We're all just gonna sit here for a second, and let me ask Tim, why were you thinking about this before going to bed? Where I know you're not going to be doing much sleeping.
Sure. I was in the car. I was driving around, dropping some props off for this event that I was helping out with. And we were listening to Circles on the radio. And I thought, Post Malone is kind of a dirty guy.
Okay, are you saying Circles like Mac? What's his face's new album?
Mac Miller.
Mac Miller's posthumous album?
No, not his posthumous album. Post Malone has a hit pop song right now called Circles.
Circles?
It's circling the
number one spot on the charts.
The billboards right now. Absolutely.
Wow. So, all right, let's hit play again.
Would you rather?
Yeah, please.
And maybe we should introduce our guest just for this sole question alone.
I feel like now is the time.
I agree. So hold on.
Introduce him, give him his credits, and then ask him the question.
Okay, yeah. So he's a Chicago comedy person. Please welcome Sam Brady.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Good, Sam. We don't really need to, have a big lead up into what we're going to be talking about. We know what we're going to be talking about. Would you rather snort cocaine off of Post Malone's hard penis, or would you rather eat his butt with your tongue?
Cocaine not even involved in the second option.
No.
Yeah, right. Well, I think it makes the choice pretty clear in my mind that I was part of the DARE program, so no drugs, so I will go asshole.
Wow,
for this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's beautiful.
It is 2020.
Yes.
I dare you to answer this question. Do you have a tiger friend?
I was sitting here just feverishly thinking of tigers, and I thought of none.
We did them all, I think.
I think you took all the tigers. I was thinking maybe, is there one in Lion King? Is there a tiger in that movie?
I don't think so. I don't think there are any tigers on the savannah.
No, yeah, they're too busy in the jungle.
They're jungle cats.
Or in mountainous regions in the snow.
Sure.
Yeah, Siberian tigers, eh?
Hey, you did have a lion friend, the lion from the DARE program.
That's right. Yes.
Yes.
What was his name? Like Ono the lion or something?
I actually don't remember.
I bet it was something cool like Lionel.
Well, I'd be lying. I'd be
Lionel.
lying if I said I wasn't excited to have you on the podcast, Sam. It's so great to see you today.
Thank you so much. I hate that the first thing I said was asshole and then a dumb thing about a tiger, but I am a wrong thing about a tiger.
Yeah,
a
we
wrong
did
thing about
not
a
give
tiger.
you a great platform to jump off of.
No,
I will be honest.
I am thrilled to be here as well. Thank you so much.
Well, you are a fantastically funny person, and you are also from the state of, say it with me, Missouri.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, me too.
Well, all right.
Yeah, we knew that about each other.
We did. I knew that you lived there for some time. Wait,
Yeah.
When did you leave?
Okay, this is my show,
Sorry, yeah,
Sam.
my bad.
I asked
We'll
the
talk off
questions.
the record, yeah.
But,
And Tim also considers himself a lifelong resident, so he's never left the South.
Okay, well, I moved there when I was 9 and then moved away when I was 18 for college. Yeah, I was
Okay.
in St. Louis.
Some good years.
A lot of the formative years.
The big formative years.
Well,
yeah.
speaking of good years, let's put some tires on the track and burn some rubber. Sam, let's get going. Where'd you grow up in Missouri?
I was born and raised in Springfield, Missouri, Rogersville, Missouri. Is like it's like 15 minutes outside of Springfield, Missouri.
Okay. And
yeah.
you just say you're from Springfield to make it easier for others.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a podcast about the minutia, so I would encourage you to not lie again.
Hey,
Understood.
Springfield, Rogersville, where there are lots of animated characters walking around on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Are you making
is this a Simpsons thing?
Well, also
No.
Roger the alien from American Dad.
No, I'm an animated civilians with lots of energy, brightening up your day.
What the hell are you talking
No, I'm trying to
about?
think. Now I really want to have like an actual like a quippy answer, but I'm worried that I don't have one. I'll circle back to that.
You could probably say dope, and that would be pretty funny.
Hey, so just to move away from this as quickly as possible, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience of growing up in Rogersville? It's a smaller town.
Yeah. Rogersville is a very small town, very farm agrarian. I think it's like 1,200 people.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, but I believe it's closer to 3,200.
Did you?
I did some
Okay,
research
yeah.
on your hometown, and
Damn,
we'll get to
yeah,
it later. But
great.
I bet there's probably the actual city itself is larger than what you consider your town.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot more sense actually. And it is growing. It is thriving. Every time I go home, there's a new thing.
What's like the newest thing you've seen?
So recently, whenever I was growing up there was Highway 60 is the road to get through everything, and you just kind of intersections where you'd have to just kind of pull over and get off. Now they have overpasses for all the stuff.
Wow.
All of them going from Springfield through Rogersville is all overpass now. Much safer.
Yeah, you said that it is all farmland, so I am really happy to hear that it is growing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Anthony.
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of kids go to your high school?
I graduated. My graduating class is like 150 kids, I think.
Wow, that's super small,
Yeah.
at least to me.
Uh,
Yours was super small.
Mine was
too.
about 30-something kids. Yeah.
Oh my
but I
God,
I was like a very small town. I feel like 150 is a good size graduating class.
Yeah. I felt like it was. I was shocked when I heard that high schools had like thousands of kids.
Yeah,
I
in
don't-
Chicago.
Can I ask you, your high school, did it have 2 floors?
It did have 2 floors.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was, and like we had. So there was the math hallway, the science hallway, and then the history hallway. And above the history hallway was the English hallway, and then above the math hallway was the like computers.
And that does make sense considering, all of English has been built upon history.
History. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And computers built upon math.
Yeah.
In which hallway would you find yourself spending most of your time?
So they were broken up. So I think history was freshmen, math was sophomores.
Wait, what?
So like it's like where your lockers were.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
those,
yeah.
that was just the classrooms.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, this is the year where
Yeah,
I do all the math I need to do.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, no, so that's just where the lockers were. I would say that my favorite teachers were the English teachers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a teacher you'd like to shout out?
Oh yeah, Mrs. Keith. I know you're listening. A big shout out. She actually her and her family came up to Chicago like a month ago, and we reconnected, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it was
you're
really
friends
cool.
with one of your teachers, like actually.
Yeah. Well, so I also got an English degree, and then I taught high school English. So I like reached out to her post high school quite a bit.
Sound the alarm, teacher on the pod.
Oh, we like not allowed to talk about like weed around you.
No, I was like,
You're gonna throw us in detention.
yeah, I think I saw an internet thing that was like English teachers are ones that were cool with that, and then like math teachers were cops. So like I'm
I
pretty.
mean, also, Tim, you started by asking him if he wants to snort coke off of Post Malone's penis.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Are we
Right.
allowed to talk about medical marijuana?
This,
Yeah.
this was pre me knowing that he was a teacher. Okay,
Free me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about like what is the difference, like the core difference of a place like Rogersville and a place like Chicago? Obviously,
Yeah.
so contrasting in terms of size, but what about like the people there? Like, what's the differences that you notice when you're talking to people in the tee capital of the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois?
So I actually think I've thought about this. I have 2 answers.
Whoa.
So Rogersville, since it's so close to Springfield, it's kind of like nobody. There's not like a great Rogersville community.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody just kind of goes to Springfield for everything. So like there's Rogersville wasn't really like you had your friends and everything. But Chicago, I feel like, especially like in the comedy stuff, there's like a real, like, I know a lot of people, and I'm like,
Community vibe.
yeah, walking distance from every. That's the second thing
Oh.
is just like transportation. I love so much more here in Chicago. Like I can just go places more
Yeah.
quickly and not have to drive through fields to get to things.
Yeah, we did see you pull up on an electric scooter outside. That's the transportation you're really into.
Yeah, that's what and you could never survive in Rogersville with one of those things because
You'd be shot.
yeah, bullies would bullies would
Bullies
shoot
would
you.
find
yeah.
What are some of the things that you would do in Rogersville for fun? Would you go into Springfield for fun, or would you go around your small town?
So I guess, like speaking in high school, our fun was just like going over to each other's houses. Like it was just like you would just go to your friends' houses.
Yeah.
Like Springfield, whenever I was growing up, wasn't a lot of like now it's awesome because it's like like the colleges are thriving there. So like
cool.
tons of like all like the bars and the microbrewery scene is blowing up there, which is neat to like return to now. But like I'd say in high school, it was a lot of just going over to friends. Like then everybody like lives super far, like out in the. You have to like really get out there to somewhere. So,
So those were all
journey.
sleepovers then, because the transportation was so limited.
Yeah, and everybody starts drinking at 13. So like, you know, wherever you go, you're kind of staying because you don't want to drive.
Certainly not you though, because you dare to rise against that.
Yeah, I dared.
Yeah, and again, you were bullied pretty mercilessly about that. Let me ask you, Sam. You grow up in Rogersville. How long did you live there? Did you go somewhere else for school? Did you stay in state?
I stayed in, so I went to college in Springfield.
Wow, close by.
Yeah. Went to Drury University.
What is it?
Drury, like Drury.
Ah, yes.
Drury Lane.
And that not the Drury Inn.
No.
That's a chain of motels, right?
Yes.
Or hotels? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just making sure my joke made sense.
Yeah, you're just checking in.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Checking in, but there's not going to be a lot of sleeping there, if you know what I mean. Okay.
So you went to Drury.
So I went to Drury, which is in Springfield, and then after that I moved to Chicago after college. I did Teach for America that placed me up here.
Oh, really?
Just kind of stayed.
So that's how you like you didn't come here by your own choice. They forced you here.
So it's like so you get into the program and then you select your top. They have like locations all over the country, and then you just select 10 that you would like want to go to. So you select 10 places that you want to be, and then you rank your subjects and ages that you feel that you would want to teach.
Sure.
And then they just kind of like pair you where you're needed.
It's like a dating profile.
Yeah. Except instead of dating, it's molding young
kids
minds
to mold. Yeah, I get it.
So my question to you is, so many of our guests came into Chicago to participate in comedy. Were you kind of drawn to comedy later just because you were here?
Yeah. Well, so I picked whenever I was ranking cities, I was just like, I know I want to go to a city, and I know I want to go to a city that has like entertainment, like comedy things available. So I did like Chicago, New York, LA, and I was just like, I would love to get to one of those three.
Can I ask you what number 4 was?
You could. I might not remember. It was probably somewhere closer to. I bet it was like Kansas City or something. Because I think that was my decision making. Was like, if I can't get into one of those 3, I'll stay around home. And if I can't do that, I probably won't do the program, because the other ones were like the Mississippi Delta and stuff. And I was like, I don't
want to go there. Well, what made you want to stay home instead of? Personally, for me, I like anywhere but home was where I wanted to go after high school. So I'm wondering why you wanted to like stay around Missouri.
Well, I think it was a combination of like, so it was not only like my childhood and like family here, but also like all of my college like friends and like community was there. And like also Kansas City and St. Louis are like cool cities too. Yeah. So I was like I wanted to go to a city. And I think I would have felt more comfortable at like a city I had some familiarity.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that I got Chicago. Like, love it here.
Now that you've had some experience, living out in the boonies, sort of growing up out there, and now living in a city, this is something we ask of a lot of our guests. Would you ever consider going back to Rogersville to live the end of your life and perhaps die?
End of my life and die, yeah, sure. I think, but that's when I would want to go back. I think I don't want to return until I have to.
You don't want to go back there unless the only activity you have to do is sit on the porch.
Right. Yeah. Because that's like pretty much what you can do anyway. So, yeah. But yes, I could see myself going back. I do like it. And it's also like growing a lot. So there's a burgeoning comedy scene there. Yeah. Some improv theaters. There's the Blue Room is a new comedy club that's there.
Shout them out. I like that.
Yeah.
Are there any other improv theaters in Rogersville, or is it in Springfield?
This is in Springfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are in Springfield. I know the Blue Room does mostly stand-up stuff. And then I don't know. The Skinny Improv was around whenever I was there. I don't really know if they're still doing stuff. And then like the Missouri State has a lot of like improv things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you live around Mizzou at all?
No, so Mizzou is like 2
East of you,
hours.
right?
Yeah, it's east of Springfield.
Okay.
That way.
All right. Well, how about we move on with the rest of the show?
You want to get us into the segments?
Yeah, let's get us into the segments. But before we get into the segments, I believe Stuart has a game.
That's right. Ba-ba-bum-bum-ba.
Okay, nice, Stuart. Keep it going.
Missouri is a state known for its many varied cultures and historical landmarks, and none more famous than the Arch, right, guys?
Yeah.
I would say we all know of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You spoke of the math hallway earlier. Well, there's a sign graph for you. Anyway, that's why this game is called the St. Louis Arch. Arch enemies, that is.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
So I'll present you each with a Missouri celebrity, and then you need to pitch me their mirrored arch enemy. You want to create a villain that becomes the perfect, like, evil opposite of your Missouri celeb. So, for example, if you were given Missouri native John Goodman, you might pitch a supervillain named Ron Badman. And,
Okay.
I mean, that's a bad example, but you
No,
get
no.
the idea, and I want you guys to give me better answers than that.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm in.
So after all three of you guys have gone, we'll do 2 rounds of that, and the 2 winners from each round will head to our tiebreaker.
And who determines the winner of each round?
Me!
Okay, sick.
I'm the goddamn Nick Fury of this fucking team, okay? Back off! Let's get going. Anthony, are you
Yes.
ready?
I'm more ready than I've ever been. I'm famously an adversarial person and tough to get along with.
Suiting up, you have to tell me the arch enemy of Don Cheadle, celebrated actor and now activist.
I'm gonna say Gone Beetle.
Yeah.
It's a ruthless, gigantic beetle man who steals all your things and disappears into the night, only to reappear and laugh at you through your window when you're trying to sleep. Wouldn't be a problem for Tim. He's up anyway.
Okay.
Wow! Truly sounds like a great supervillain. Gone Beetle.
Yes.
Wow, gonna be hard to top that, Sam, but your celebrity, Sheryl Crow, fantastic singer-songwriter.
Sheryl Crow. I would say her arch enemy would be Don't Share Eagle.
Oh yeah.
So it's like bird that just snatches toys away from kids and like doesn't
Kids
give them
specifically?
kids specifically because like you're thinking whenever I think share I think toys.
Mhm.
Definitely.
So yeah, Don't Share Eagle, and it tries to like manifest that don't share mentality into the young generation.
No.
They grow up, they're all corporate bankers.
Hoarding wealth.
We're in hell.
My God.
Fucking heinous.
There's nothing more evil than generational wealth hoarding. And I want to thank you for pointing that out with your arch enemy. Tim!
Yes, let's do this.
Your Missouri celebrity. Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric.
Comedic actor and entertainer.
Okay. Entertainer.
Again, like, we don't need to go 100% antonyms like we've been
Okay,
doing
yeah,
so
no.
far.
You kind of set
It's-
it up though.
Yeah.
It's worked out fine. And Ron Badman, I know, got you guys there, but do whatever you have to do.
I think I hear it. Here it is. Cedric the Entertainer's arch nemesis is named Frederick Spanker. And he does what you think that he does. He has a big fucking right hand, and I'm talking swollen like a tomato, and he'll just spank you on the ass and give you the reddest butt you've ever seen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a recipe for a tender tush. No, thank you.
Wow. Well, I know Missouri's famous for some of its barbecue, but we're not talking about tender rumps right now, Anthony. We're talking about arch nemesis. We're dealing with the Eagle, the Spanker, and the Beetle. And the winner of round 1 is... the Beetle!
Yeah. Nice.
Took an extra long pause because I had to do the math in my head. And I do think that was a really strong pick of you, Anthony.
Yeah.
But we'll see who wins round 2.
Okay.
Oh, this isn't knockout? Thank God.
No. You'll all have another chance at it. But Anthony is at a supremely powerful position with 1 point already.
This is true.
You
The
understand.
top of the pyramid, as it were.
Now, we'll start with Tim.
Okay.
Tim, your celebrity, Akon, the dancing singer turned African philanthropist.
Okay. Here it is. Akon's arch nemesis is Bacon. Bacon ropes you into a marriage that you don't want to be in and ruins your life forever.
Wow.
Not the
Okay.
angle I was expecting.
No, not at all. I was thinking maybe Be Pro or something, but Bacon.
Bacon.
Okay, well, Sam,
Yeah.
your celebrity, John Hamm, actor and madman.
Okay. I know you said not antonyms, but Jim Turkey's jumping out at me as the, he just engages in horrible Thanksgiving political discussions that you
wow.
do
This
not
fucking
wanna
guy,
have.
dude.
Nothing worse at the dinner table than a Jim Turkey. Anthony,
Yes.
finally, it's your turn. Your Missouri celebrity, Maya Angelou, the fantastic and culturally important poet.
Damn. Maya Antonym. The opposite of everything that Maya Angelou's legacy represents. Bad books, negative writings, and horrible impact.
Wow.
Wow.
And I don't want to leave you hanging or nervous at all, Anthony. You're not going to win round 2. Between Bacon and Jim Turkey, the winner is Turkey.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah,
No,
nice.
man.
Congrats,
That was a good one.
congrats.
Thank
You
you
had
so
two
much.
politically charged supervillains,
Yeah.
you know, and I appreciated both of those.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Which means, of course, Sam, Anthony, we're heading into the tiebreaker round.
Oh, I am out.
Yeah.
It can't be like a three-way split.
You didn't win a round.
We can't do a three-way split. I can still get on the board.
God, who's the villain now?
Yikes.
You, the game master.
Well, between Sam and Anthony, this is going to be a simple guess surrounding a piece of trivia about the arch. Now, whichever of you guesses a number closest to the correct number will be our winner.
Oh, Sam, are you ready?
I am ready. Yeah.
Confidence.
During construction, an insurance company believed that around 13 people would die building the arch, right?
Uh-huh.
The actual number was less than that. Now, the one of you that guesses closest to the actual number of deaths associated with the arch will be our winner. Sam, because you are a guest, you're going to be guessing second. Anthony, what is your guess of how many people have died in arch-related accidents?
Dial up that Stranger Things, because I'm going to guess 11.
Hell yeah.
Wow, sick. Sam,
It's just whoever gets closest, right?
it's whoever gets closest. So at this point, you're playing more of a strategic vote than an informed one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say 10 and cross my
Fuck.
fingers.
Wow. Anthony,
Yes.
Sam.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yes.
Shut up. The winner of our tiebreaker is Sam!
Whoa!
That's right. Only one person ever died in an arch-related accident, that being Kenneth Swires, who in 1980 leaped from a plane, parachuted to the top of the arch, and attempted to base jump to the ground. However, his second parachute did not open, and he splatted at the bottom.
Wild.
Yikes.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
So
Wild.
that was-
Only one death.
Yeah, when that wasn't even like in construction.
Not
right?
at all.
Like, it just this-
Everyone was fine.
wow.
That's what's wild.
He just
about
wanted
this
to
game, huh?
land on the arch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam, congrats.
Thank you so much.
You're now one of the Avengers.
Oh my. Hell yeah. Does that mean I get to meet Don Cheadle?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is he from? He's not from Missouri. is he?
Yeah.
He's
he
from
is.
Missouri.
No way. I thought he was British. Am I
You
like,
are definitely thinking of Don Cheadle's character from the Ocean's movies where he's
that is so right.
Well, that was the end of my game. Again, the St. Louis arch enemies, that is.
That's
That
the
was great.
name
That's
of
the name
game.
of it, yes.
No, that was great. That was so much fun. I'm gonna have nightmares for weeks. Tim, that won't be a problem for you. You're never asleep.
I'm not
Never
sleeping. Well, I have nightmares every waking hour of my life.
Wow, love that.
Yeah. Well, Stu, thank you for making up the game St. Louis Arch
Enemy, that
That
is.
is. Okay, great. Yeah, that was really fun. We're going to move on to our next regular segment where we explore Missouri, not with fun in a game, but through our two nostrils, through our sniffers.
Ooh.
So I have prepared something for you that is in the kitchen. I'm going to go retrieve it. Just give me 1 second, banter for a little bit.
In the meantime, I think we can all ask, if we had to be an Avenger, who would we be? And Anthony, Hawkeye.
No, not Hawkeye. My name is Anthony Tony. Of course, I'm gonna be Iron Man.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Does that
yeah.
mean Sam has to be the Falcon?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
His name is Sam, I think.
Is it really?
I believe it is. Camden's giving me a big head nod on that.
Okay.
Of course, Camden, one of the biggest Falcon fans in all of America.
Absolutely. I met Anthony Mackie one time. That's a story for another episode of the pod, I think, though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
But can confirm
Wait,
the Falcons alias is Sam.
Wow.
Sick.
But Anthony Mackie is the actor.
Yes.
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 Hmm.
Oh, actually, maybe Anthony should be the Falcon.
Yeah.
I ran into him at the Chick-fil-A.
The
at Water
Falcon?
Tower. No, Anthony Mackie.
That's a story for another
That's,
time.
that's a story
Camden.
for another
a
episode.
Maz Kanata style cutoff. Tim, you're back.
All right, I'm back. What I prepared for you all today is a Missouri-owned, not necessarily something that you would normally smell, something that you would normally taste and put on your lips and drink, and perhaps do what you did at 13, Sam, and get trashed. What I've brought for you today is why don't we send this hot, grab the handle, hot pot of a mysterious liquid that I want you to try to find what it is.
So I just smell and guess.
Yes.
Don't touch it.
Okay, I won't touch the bottom.
Anthony will touch the bottom. We can't let you ruin his bit where he burns his hand.
Got a bad history of blistered fingies on this pod.
The smell is permeating the room already.
Mhm.
When you brought it in, it was actively steaming, and the smell was traveling.
Sam, you just took your nose out of it. What are the first notes you're pulling out with your little nostrils?
Notes. I don't want to say like the only word that I know to associate with what I think that is.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Yeah.
do you know what it is? Yeah, of course, you probably know what it is.
Well, I feel like
That smells bad.
I mean, am I allowed to guess what it is
Yeah,
right now?
if you know what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like Busch beer or like some Budweiser brand beer.
You know, you got it exactly right, Sam. It's Budweiser. It's a little bit. It's
Boom.
Red Label Budweiser,
Hell yeah.
Red label.
created by
So-
Anheuser-Busch, a St. Louis, Missouri company.
You remember the frogs? Bud.
Why?
The frogs.
Yeah, from the Super Bowl commercial.
Remember that commercial that came out 18 years ago?
Oh yeah, right.
Guys, this fucking smells terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
it's because
reason-
it's like boiled beer. Like,
Yeah.
it's hot as hell.
Yeah, it really, really activates something sinister about the smell.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of we smelled for our Indiana episode like last year. We smelled deer pheromone within piss, and it smells like Subway piss.
Yeah, it does smell pissy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just the baked piss kind of thing. Like someone pisses in the subway, it's just going to be down there baking and kind of doing its thing
Yeah.
and evaporating. Maybe that's what it is. We're smelling that baked pee.
Well, what I've also brought is a cold version of it, so we don't have to smell only hot beer.
Sam, calm down. Jesus. Sam
Yeah, you're
dove across the table to get his hands on
Grabbing,
this
and it's
beer.
only a little bit. You're not going to get drunk off of that, Sam. Chill.
Oh man, the smell of this warm
Yeah,
beer.
it's not good.
We put the pot down right near me, and it's just making me so sick.
Anthony, I can see a little cartoon smoky hand coming out of the pot and going into your nostrils, and I'm sorry about that. You know,
I will say it actually smells fine cold. I mean, it just smells normal. I hate the smell of beer in general. Like if I walk into a bar and I get hit with that, Or I was just talking about it on the Green Bay episode, like the football stadium smell of beer. Like, it just makes me so deeply nauseous.
Well, Sam, you grew up in a state like that's known for its sort of homogenized. Everybody has had this beer. Like, does this take you home at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I as sad as it is, like kids, including myself, did start drinking at a really young age. And it like sort of like socially, like, I don't know, it was just kind of accepted. Anthony, what?
Anthony's pouring the hot beer into a cup for him to taste. That's disgusting.
And he has burned his mouth.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, no
Dan.
shit.
Didn't that cup have coffee in it?
Not anymore. I finished that.
So
Wow.
just a nice stained hot beer. You ever experienced hot beer before in your life, Sam?
Yeah. We used to. So I don't want to get him in trouble, but my cousin is older than me, and he would buy us beer whenever we were in high school.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I won't say his name.
Yeah.
But so after, like, so he would buy it, and then we would just try to buy it like in mass, so that we wouldn't have to like keep asking him.
Sure.
So we'd buy like a lot of it, and then it like we wouldn't be able to store it anywhere because we'd get in trouble.
You
So
can't put it in a fridge.
yeah. So we just kept it in the back of like my friend's truck, and so like it would just be kind of like rolling around, like, and it's like from weekend to weekend, it was just like his like we would just go to his truck until it was gone. So
That's really disgusting. And it also it really lets me know how much of a fucking loser I was in high school, because we had that same thing going on, like with these cans in the back of a friend of ours' car, but it was Baja Blast, and it was all just really hot.
I don't know which one of us is a bigger loser, but
Yeah. I'm definitely not a loser. I didn't drink until I was 18.
nice.
And
Yeah,
I'm
fucking
definitely
losers.
not a loser for sipping that warm beer, huh? Very cool move of me.
That was cool, actually.
It tasted so bad.
Did you drink a lot of Budweiser, or did you drink typically another beer? Because I remember drinking a lot of Rolling Rock, and that's like another St.
Ooh.
Louis or
Yeah.
Missouri
Yeah.
founded beer.
I remember. So my mom is a Coors Light fan. So if I was stealing beer, I was stealing Coors Light.
Nice.
Silver bullet.
Yeah, Silver Bullets. Cold as the Rockies, their cans get blue. We never experienced that.
Never got hot enough. The mountains on our cans were bright green and glowing.
All right. Well, aside from beer, what are like the typical smells of Missouri that you would commonly associate with the state, or even of Rogersville or Springfield in general?
So I'm thinking about the last few times that I've gone home. My mom lives, like I said, like everybody kind of out far in the so like just kind of that smell of like. I went home for Thanksgiving, so it was like as the leaves were changing, so that that kind of earthy smell. I definitely you just don't like
Gentle decay.
Yeah, the passage of time kind of smell.
Sure.
But like those things that like you don't smell at all in Chicago, and I don't like realize that I haven't smelled it since I've gone home. But
yeah, it's not a smell that arrives here just because there's nothing to decay and it's all washed away, even if it does come out. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there is something about like an abundance of crops around you too that it provides so much of like I don't know, like it's like a buggy smell almost.
Yeah,
I don't want to say polleny.
No,
but it's like kind of starchy or dusty.
For sure. I think the real problem in Chicago is that the only crops we get are crop tops.
Well, there's some new crop now. 2020's around, huh?
Jesus Christ!
This guy's a teacher, Tim.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Busted.
So with like all of these smells combined, is there, I think we need to come up with a way to rank this hot beer. And it's tough because I personally have zero ideas.
Out of the 3 Budweiser frogs on their lily pads, how would you rank this smell segment?
And by the way, the way you have to rank it is by doing the frog noises. If it's 1 out of 1, just a Bud. If it's 2, Budweiser. And of course, you know what 3 out of 3 is.
Yeah, I think I give it the full Budweiser.
Wow!
Generous.
Damn, yeah.
This is one of the worst, most sickening smell segments, in my opinion. I'm really deeply nauseous.
Yeah.
And drinking it just ruined my evening.
I think the smell of beer for me immediately makes me think of vomit, because the only time I really vomit when drinking is when I drink too much beer too quickly, and it's just that like I'm so bloated, like my
Bubble
body
gut.
has to. It's bubble gut. So just smelling that like immediately takes me back to that like, oh, there's beer in my nose and it's just like all coming out of my body kind of thing. But 3 out of 3 frogs, Tim, congrats.
You know, I'll take the full Budweiser and run home with it. That's pretty freaking sweet.
Tim Googled the frogs.
Yeah, I Googled the frogs. I've never seen them. I'm jumping on a Bud. Okay, yes, that's the slogan that they have on this dumb 1995 Super Bowl thing.
1995?
Yeah, 95.
My
Before I
God.
was born?
Yeah.
Was that pre or post like the Clydesdales?
The Clydesdales have been around for a very long time, I think. Like, I
Okay.
think they in some way represented the company since like the 40s or something, just because
Oh,
like horses were
interesting.
so cool back then.
Yeah.
After Clydesdales, but before.
So all these ads and more can be read about in my thesis paper from my capstone class of senior college for my advertising
That's an
major.
embarrassing bonus episode we could have.
Hey, yeah. Very embarrassing, horrible paper. But I did actually get to interview one of the guys who created the Budweiser frogs
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty
man.
cool. Like over
And,
the phone or meet him in real life.
over the phone.
Good.
And recorded in a garage band on my laptop so that I could reference the notes back.
Nice. Hey,
and let
that's
me-
pretty cool for a paper.
And now look at where I am today in the advertising world.
Yeah, you're. I don't know where.
Oh, you mean currently stuck on a project that has 0 advertisers and who advertisers will not reach out to?
Yeah, getting targeted ads for bad T-shirts.
All right. Well, we've explored Missouri with our sniffers, so we're going to move on to our next regular segment where we explore Missouri not with our 2 sniffers or our 4 sniffers collectively, but with our eyes. Anthony, why don't you take your visual presentation away?
Get those peepers creeping. It's time, time to look at the slideshow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Here we have the first slide. Of course, guys, fitting in the theme of season 2, we have a bright red Times New Roman font, Missouri. Sam, what does that evoke within you when you see it?
Yeah, when I see that red right now, all I think is of Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom.
Wow, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you a KC fan?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is my sister. New. She's a new KC fan. I don't
Let
know
me
how I
guess.
feel about it.
She saw Pat Mahomes Head and Shoulders commercial and she creamed her beans or whatever.
Jesus
That
Christ.
is my sister. What the?
Jesus
That's
Christ.
my sister.
What?
Well,
And
all
I think
right.
she listens to the show.
Oh, God,
Stuart.
I'm so
That's
sorry,
disgusting.
Jesus.
Well, hey, let me tell you something. As of this recording, the Super Bowl is about to happen, so we don't know the results, but I feel confident at this very time declaring that the Kansas City Chiefs did win.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, I think we can say that. And unlike Rogersville, the reason that the Chiefs won, the lack of overpasses. They all went. They all went right where they had to go.
Nice. Well, congratulations, Pat, and the rest of the Kansas City Chiefs. And if they did lose for any reason, I'm sorry I dated this episode. But let's move on to the next slide. Here we have the license plate for Missouri. It's a basic one, y'all. There's a red waves at the top, blue waves at the bottom. Not waves like you'd sail across on a single family boat, but just ripples, almost like audio waves in Camden's Ableton as he edits our episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some math class for you. Some sine waves.
Wow. Sam, you're looking at this license plate. Are you flashing back to traffic?
Not so much. I actually, full transparency, I don't super recognize. Like, I think the one that I had was like a blue and green looking thing.
Same here.
But I like this one better.
No, so we might be jumping the gun on this one a little bit.
No.
This is the one that Missouri's DMV put up first in my results. But as you can see, it's the bicentennial plate. It's looking
Yeah.
ahead to 2021, which
Whoa.
will be the bicentennial anniversary.
So maybe
of
this
Missouri's
has
existence.
like yet to be released. It's also
Oh.
fun. The code on it, right?
Yeah, Mo2. Yeah, I just saw that.
Well, you can see it is pretty basic. There's a lot of white negative space in here, but buried in the background is the state seal. And I do mean buried. 2 bears.
I'm not picking it up.
Wow.
Well, I think this license plate is pretty charming. How about you?
Yeah, I like it. I'm trying to think of bear puns, but yeah, I do like it. I hate that I got my car registered in Illinois now that I've done it. Like, I did
The
it.
Illinois plates suck.
Well, the Illinois plates suck, but like just everything with Chicago is like I feel like I paid like $200, like the city sticker and all that shit,
And your permit parking.
yeah, all that stuff. I never had to deal with whenever I had a Missouri plate.
It also sucks because you're giving all of that money in cash to a guy outside the DMV, right?
Yeah, and then he just out of his overcoat just whips out an Illinois plate. And,
Yeah, and he says, "Don't look up the numbers on this plate.
just
Don't speed.
Do not draw attention to yourself."
So the license plate leaves a little something to be desired. Maybe there's enough time before this bicentennial plate is put into place to change it to something a little cooler.
I hope you're listening, Missouri DMV.
Well, normally they also have the Show Me State on the bottom of it, and which I think is lacking on this license plate. I love it when a license plate includes a state's motto.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, maybe there's something better on the next slide. The state quarter.
Nope.
Yeah, the state quarter, Missouri state quarter, which shows Lewis and Clark canoeing down the Missouri River on their way back to St. Louis.
Wait, what do you mean? That's just a guy's head.
No, on the other side of the quarter.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the left side of the slide where there's just a normal face of a quarter.
Hey guys, I've told you this every episode. It's gonna be there every episode. We don't have to comment on it again.
Why don't you just crop it out, Anthony? Like you can drag it over.
I could do that. I really could do that. But you can tell that Lewis and Clark are headed to St. Louis because, of course, they're heading towards the arch.
You know, I'll contest this. It looks like they're heading away from the arch.
They're going in reverse.
No shit, idiot.
So there's also a couple different things on there. It features the year 1821. As we discussed, this is the year Missouri became the 24th state. 24. Jack Bauer state. This also features Corps of Discovery to commemorate their journey, and it also features the year 1804, the year Lewis and Clark started the journey. So I don't know, this one's not too exciting to me, but I think it does a good job of representing the state's legacy.
I have a big question, and I know I did research on the arch for my game, but it wasn't built before 1804, was it?
No, definitely not.
What are they sailing backwards underneath in this quarter?
Perhaps the waters of time.
My boy, you don't believe that.
Lewis and Clark are time travelers.
Yeah.
Have always been.
I mean, how would you know that they're headed to St. Louis? It's not like there's not a clear enough picture to see that they're frowning.
Wow. I'm just curious, as like everything on the quarter looks like it's from the 1800s, but then there is the arch. But it also, like, the arch looks like it's maybe 14 feet high.
Yeah, it's like barely taller than the trees.
What do you think of this quarter as a whole, Sam?
Well, I have to add, like, you said that this one's not too, what are the exciting quarters that you have looked at?
So
That's a really good question.
Our first two, Indiana and Ohio, had a race car and a bear.
The moon.
Oh, no.
The moon.
The moon. Yeah. A race car and an astronaut, and then Alaska had a bear on it. I mean, there's
Oh, shit. Yeah. All right.
a little
Okay.
bit more action on these other quarters. I think this is a fine picture. It's a B- reproduction, I think. Like, I don't like the trees on the other side at all. Looks like stiff pieces of broccoli.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yeah. Why?
I do think it's telling that none of us have mentioned the third person in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
There's another person in there?
I think that's Sacagawea.
In St. Louis?
So that's what I was hoping that one of you guys would say it, but I think that's who it is. But I don't want to like be wrong.
Right.
So, but
it wasn't the only reason.
she definitely did guide Lewis and Clark. I thought.
Right.
That's what I learned about her.
Yeah, the only reason that I didn't mention that third person is they weren't broken down in the description that I was reading.
I think it's crazy that, Sam, you don't know it off the top of your head, considering you did a full year of history in high school. I mean, it's probably
Yeah. I mean,
Sacagawea.
it has to be right. Like.
I learned a lot of in 4th grade and maybe 5th grade, maybe even 6th grade. We did a lot of Lewis and Clark history. I don't know if you did that during your schooling.
Mm-hmm. Our school taught a Missouri history class. I didn't take that class.
Fuck yeah.
But I took Holocaust history.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Which.
Well, it won't help us with this corner.
I don't have any quip there.
Let's move on to the next slide here and see the state insect. Great pick. You can see what all the buzz is about with this one. It's a honeybee.
Shut up.
Oh, man.
Shut up.
No.
I know we were talking about tiger stripes earlier, but look at the stripes on this bee.
I think this is a great pick. Sam, how do you feel about the honeybee? Are you scared of them?
I'm not personally scared of honeybees. My uncle actually keeps bees. He and my cousin. It's their fun father-daughter hobby. They keep bees.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, that's
Damn.
wild.
Do they produce honey at all, or is it more just a recreational thing?
Yeah, he gives us honey at holidays.
Wow, that's so nice.
It is
so
pretty
sweet.
cool.
And I
It's good.
assume you kiss him on the cheek, giving him a little honey.
every holiday.
This reminds me of a little email that we got a few months ago that I'd like to read just a little bit for you.
Yeah, sure. Please sidetrack my segment.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Anything else about the honeybee? They're all dying.
I heard that there's a comeback. That's the last thing that I read was that they're on an upswing.
I really hope so.
Interesting. Yeah, I know colony collapse syndrome, I think is what it was called, was like sweeping the nation. But yeah, I think there might have been a move away from a particular Monsanto pesticide.
Based out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Hell yeah.
Indeed, Creve
Fuck yeah.
Coeur.
Shout them out if you guys like them.
Yeah, my friend Grant lived right across the street from them for a short while.
And
his apartment
it's worth
complex.
noting that Grant has not been able to start a full hive yet. And so there might have been some connection with the complex.
Right, well, Grant is officially infertile. Sorry, Grant.
Wow, and to tell him on the podcast.
I know. I found the results for him.
I think the honeybee is a great choice. It's a staple insect. Do you see a lot of them flying around outside of your uncle's house?
No, not as many bees. Tons of red wasps is what I see the most of.
Red wasps.
Wow.
Red wasps? I've never heard of that.
Put the B in UB40.
Shut the
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, what's the difference between like a yellow wasp, a red wasp, and a black wasp? I don't know.
I guess I've never heard of a yellow wasp. So I've always aren't.
What color do you think wasps normally
are?
are?
Red, right?
I've seen them black or like brownish. I maybe have seen them red.
How about that iridescent sort of black-green wasp that you'll see from time to time that's like shiny and so scary that it makes me want to...
So those I always call dirt daubers, and I don't think they sting.
Now, where'd you get
Dirt
that?
dauber?
Well, because they make their things out of dirt. Like, they're weird looking. Like, it's like little like pipes of dried dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was a particular name for that.
I'm sure it's not dirt dauber.
Yeah, where'd you come up
Latin name?
Where'd you come with dauber?
I have no. I might be saying it wrong. Now I'm really nervous, but I think it's dirt dauber. Is what I thought my grandpa said that maybe.
Hey, better than being a dirt dabber, if you know what I mean. Blowtorches and all that.
Yeah.
This man's a teacher, Tim.
Oh shit, you're right. I'm sorry.
Well, interesting. Let's move on to the next slide here. Here we have the third most populous city in all of Missouri. Your hometown or close by it, Springfield, Missouri.
Wow.
A heavenly photo.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous. We have the rays of sunshine poking through the clouds above what looks like a nice stretch of city. No skyscraper action at all, but just like, flat but nice looking buildings, clean streets. It looks like a great shot.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese, get out of here. These are clean streets, baby. I do want to notice there's this like white sort of factory building on the right side. We had one of those buildings where I grew up, but it was a dog food factory. Sam, do you know off the top of your head what that building is and what they make there?
I can't speak to that. So if it's the factory that I think it is, I have no idea, and it's been abandoned for like as long as I can like think of. I know that we have like a Highland milk. The milk, there's a factory there, but that's kind of outside of town a little bit. And then I know that there's like a mustard. What's the not Hunt's? What's the mustard?
Oh,
French's.
French's.
There's
Speaking of French's, Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said the company's Highland Milk, right?
Yeah.
I've heard of that place. Their motto is actually there can be only 1%. Right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that out loud.
I'm shocked that you guys haven't commented on our special guest in these photos. This photo here.
Am I missing something? I saw the rays of light. Ray Skywalker isn't in there, is she? Wait, who's that?
I think it's one of the Simpsons. I think it's a Lisa Simpson.
Yep, we have the whole family in here sprinkled throughout.
Oh, great. You mean you're going to send us on a little scavenger hunt? Here's Homer on the far left. Lisa's on the right here. I think I see Bart right here skating down the street. Where's Marge? What the fuck is this? Keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah, an effort to find the Simpsons. They broke Tim's computer.
Look, I care about the Simpsons first and foremost, but I couldn't find Marge.
Yeah, where's Marge, Anthony?
Marge is right at the bottom towards the right.
I see. She's on Broadway right here or something like that.
Hey, listeners, just a reminder, if you want to participate with our visual segments, you can subscribe to our Patreon, and just for $2 a month, we'll email you these suckers on the day that these drop. So you can hunt along with us for The Simpsons.
How fun would that be?
That would be so much fun. You can follow us at patreon.com/Statesmen podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, but for now, you can follow us on to the next slide.
Whoa.
All right. We talked about Springfield. Time to move on to the fourth most populous city, Columbia. And now this looks like a nice sleepy city. There, once again, no skyscraper action, low flat streets, and it looks, pretty empty. There's not a lot of action going on. There's cars zooming back and forth. I see a limo right there. So somebody important is in town.
Well, if it's Columbia, it's probably Post Malone coming to pick up his cocaine. Thank you.
This is College Town. This is where Mizzou is.
Yep. Oh, cool.
And a couple of other colleges.
Very cool. Have you ever spent some time crashing on a couch in Columbia?
I have tailgated and been to a number of Mizzou games. I never crashed on a couch though. My friend Alex, his family is from just outside of this, so every time I went up there, I would just stay at his house. But,
nice.
But definitely did a lot of tailgating there. And I mean, I think the teams, I haven't really been following them, but I think they're terrible.
Oh, man.
I don't think the Tigers are too good.
Yeah, but
wait,
they're the Mizzou Tigers.
What the fuck, guys?
I can't believe that I did.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't make that connection either.
Well, it looks like a nice place. Definitely, now that you said it's a college town, I completely see that.
Yeah.
It has that vibe to it where it's like a small downtown section, and you might even be able to see some of the campus in the background there on that tree line.
Yeah, you have like the Capitol-looking building. I'm pretty sure that's like one of their main landmarks in the quad. Shit like that.
Sick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a really pretty campus and a really surprissurprisingly pretty town too. Lots of stuff to do over there.
A lot of cobble streets.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Which I'm a huge fan of cobble.
Yeah.
Just anytime you can get.
Not cobblestone particularly. Just are there other materials you can cobble with?
Shoes?
Yeah,
Shoes,
leather.
I suppose
Yeah,
so.
there's
Cobblers,
that.
Yeah.
Peaches, you can make a
Peach
peach
cobbler.
cobbler. Right, look, I proved myself wrong.
You can cobble stuff together.
Yeah, like
it's a
this
verb.
podcast.
Yep. This is just
Well,
rocks.
Let's move on to the next slide. Here we have Forest Park,
Oh, yay.
a 1,326 acre park known as the heart of St. Louis. Ba-bum, ba-bum. It was created in 1876 and expanded to host events like the 1904 Summer Olympics and add features like the St. Louis Zoo, tigers, and several museums. The park has also restored natural habitat areas for a large array of wild creatures, and it's estimated that about 12 million people visit the park each year. That is over 39 times the population of St. Louis.
Wow. Holy shit.
So it's drawing people in, and I can see why. Look at this picture. We have this nice reflective water and the gorgeous, gorgeous structure with this wonderful lush landscaping.
Look, it's a beautiful place, but like 39 times? That's huge.
How small? Did you say 12 million? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So how small? St. Louis is that feels like.
St. Louis is a small place.
Is it that small?
I think you'd be shocked.
I don't think
Damn.
it has more than 1 million people.
It doesn't even
in
have
it.
close to 1 million.
Oh, really?
That
Yeah.
is
It might
so
be the opposite
interesting.
of how your hometown like includes more area than you think. Maybe St. Louis only includes a certain amount of area. Because I do know right outside the city, there's just like tons more towns with people, right?
Yeah, well, I know that about St. Louis, that like all the surrounding suburbs are kind of like where people like live and spend. I thought it's like a joke about St. Louis people that like they'll just ask you what high school you went to because that like matters more than like anything else for
just-
like frame of reference for them. I
It
think.
totally tells me like where somebody is from and like how they grew up.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you go to CBC, you're an all boys Catholic kind of preparatory school. If you went to Eureka, you're out in the boonies with me.
We had Springfield had a similar thing, except like all the high schools are identical. But
They're
like,
all hallways.
Yeah, they're just all hallway. But you just you have like you just hate Ozark for whatever reason. Like but, yeah.
I've got a question for you guys. If an American hero present at some of the most important parts of the 20th century were to have to bring his car to a stop and get out of it, you know what people would yell? Park, Forrest, park!
Wow.
All right, I'm going to
you gotta fucking
kill
go.
myself!
Gotta go.
What do you guys think of this shot though? I think this is a beautiful shot. That gazebo kind of thing, that structure is so beautiful. Have you ever been under there during a rainstorm?
Have you even ever been here?
I have never. I've been to St. Louis Zoo. I guess I didn't realize that it was a part of Forest
Mhm.
Park.
Clearly not.
Yeah,
'Cause you have been there.
Yeah, but I've never been to that gazebo
In the rain.
Definitely not in the rain.
Maybe with your little honey there with
My
you.
honey, doing not sleeping.
Oh, shit.
whatever.
The
I-
teacher's talking about fuck.
No, can you guys cut this out?
I've been to Forest Park many times. My most memorable one is where I saw a hot air balloon convention or like hot air balloon takeoff,
Ooh.
and like 100 some odd hot air balloons all lifted off into the sky. It was awesome.
So what attracted you so much to these air balloons?
Well, they look like titties.
Shut the fuck up.
What? You asked me.
I don't know what I expected.
Wow. All right, y'all. Well, let's move on to another body of water. Lake of the Ozarks, a huge reservoir located in central Missouri. It was built in 1929, covering 54,000 acres throughout Benton, Miller, Morgan, and Camden counties in Missouri. Camden got so excited.
Yeah, you woke him up.
It impounds part of the Osage River and 3 smaller tributaries. Due to its unique bendy shape, it's sometimes called the Magic Dragon. Have you ever heard that?
I've never heard it called the Magic Dragon. I have been here a lot, but I've never heard it called that.
The reservoir is used for a bunch of different local events, and it's also a popular spot for boating and swimming. One section, this might be where you've actually spent some time, is actually known as Party Cove, an area where thousands of boats meet up and everyone gets sloppy drunk, especially during the 4th of July.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's rad! I want to go to Party Cove!
I have been to Party Cove.
You
It is-
have?
It is real, and it is fun.
How many drownings a year?
I do not know, but it has to be high. Like,
Yeah, right?
More than one.
More than one, which makes it more dangerous than the arch.
You know, we're not far from Party Cove in this shot. I actually believe that's what the boats are gathered. That's where the boats are gathered out in the distance. But here we have a shot of like a little lip where people are sitting on it as though it's a big beach. It's a pretty small lip though.
As though it's a big beach.
They're spread. They're not spread out. They're all clustered together. It's a small patch of land right off of the grass.
Yeah, these fucking idiots are lying to themselves saying it's a big beach.
No.
Stupid small town fuckheads don't
No.
understand that some beaches are big.
They're making the most of the space. That family is having fun. That kid's getting his feet in the sand.
I'll say this right now. We did a traveling episode of The Statesmen in the backseat of a car driving up to Green Bay. I think we should keep doing transportation themed episodes. Rent a boat, go to Party Cove.
we've
and
gotta go to
record
Party
live
Cove.
from-
Whoa,
for
that
the
sounds
4th of July special.
that actually sounds so much fucking fun. I'm totally down.
Yeah,
Okay.
Party Cove.
Shady Gator is like one of the big bars that's like right off of the water. You got to check out Shady Gator.
Shady Gator.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like a place where adults get kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I didn't. Well, so one time, the last time that I went here, we were staying at an Airbnb and we had to, there was like a group of like 20 of us that were just like kind of in two houses right there. We wanted to go to Shady Gator and we had rented the boat for the day, but it was nighttime and we didn't have the boat anymore. So my friend Miles called a bus. Like he said, like, I'll just get a bus to come get us. And like in our head, we were thinking like a charter bus kind of thing. I don't know why we thought that, but it was a fucking school bus. That like just this creepy guy, like we just all piled into this like yellow school bus and drove like it was a nightmare, but it was so much fun.
Wow. Well, I'm going to say, Party Cove, the most popular destination for 13-year-olds right as they start drinking.
We're really blowing up your spot.
I think I have some lifestyle things to think about following this episode.
Well, let's add a little more culture to the pod, eh? Here's a nice shot of the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art.
Whoa.
A museum established in Kansas City in 1933.
Nelson Atkins? No carbs here.
Where's the PNG of Rob Lowe?
Yeah.
If Nelson Atkins was located in Springfield, I bet the bully would be pretty skinny. This
Jesus Christ.
This
All
museum.
right, we all got one out.
All right. Let's get serious here. Because this museum hosts over 40,000 pieces from different cultures and regions, including extensive wings featuring Asian art, Native American art, European paintings, photography, and sculpture. And it's famous for its campus, which actually has sculptures sprinkled throughout. And most famously, you can see it in the corner of the image here, the shuttlecocks, the large shuttlecocks, as though you're playing a game of badminton with God.
Holy shit.
They're called shuttlecocks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You like badminton?
The badminton
Yeah.
balls are called shuttlecocks.
They're not balls. Originally, they were small pieces of foam with turkey feathers coming out of the back of them. But yeah, shuttlecocks.
Wow, interesting. I only thought those were reserved for male astronauts.
Yes, and it shows how unbelievably immature you are, boy.
Have you ever been to the Nelson Atkins Museum?
No, I have not. I regrettably haven't spent haven't spent as much time in Kansas City as I have in St. Louis, despite being a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. So no, I've never been here. It looks cool though. I love sculptures are some of my favorite like art to look at.
Yeah, me too. I only just started appreciating sculpture because it's like something that you don't really like understand how much goes into constructing something like that. And you say like, oh, they just put a bunch of sheets of metal together. But when you look like just a little bit beyond that, you're like, what the fuck? How did you do that?
Yeah, literally like I can't comprehend how like this little whatever this is in this corner.
It's like a chrome tree.
Yeah, like couldn't even.
How the fuck do you make that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, a chrome tree. We saw a couple of those on the back of the corridor.
This is my favorite way to enjoy sculpture as well. When you can walk around and enjoy it in the elements, like
Totally.
just be outside, drinking in the fresh air, and just seeing it on a wide open green field. There's like truly no better way to behold it because it really makes it stand out from the world around it.
Do you have to be drinking while you do it?
No.
You said drinking in the fresh air and
Drinking in the fresh air.
Drinking, comma, in the fresh air is what you're saying.
get it,
We get it.
Only at Party Cove. Well,
What with these giant shuttlecocks and the state insect, I'll bet Missouri parents are real good at having the conversation with their kids about the birds and the bees.
my man! Wow!
What do you
Watch
say,
out!
Sam?
Fucking 300 meters snipe from across the map.
all right, y'all. Let's move on to another museum. This one you might recognize. It's the City Museum.
Yay!
An unorthodox museum that opened in an old shoe factory in St. Louis in 1997. So it's a recent one. Its unusual exhibits and features include a life-size whale, tunnels, slides, so chutes and ladders, a skate park, a circus ring with live performances, and a retro Ferris wheel on the roof. It operates year-round. It draws about 700,000 visitors annually. Tim,
Damn,
you
that's
lit
it.
up right away when I mentioned this.
Yeah, I gas this place up all the time. If somebody's going to St. Louis for the first time, this is like the only place that I point them to. for like.
It's because it feels so unique. I mean, like I got to experience this going to Missouri, and this was like, it's shocking. I was blown away at this like adult playground.
It's like Meow Wolf, but in St. Louis. It's like the art collective that does this is genius and so prolific.
Yeah, the image itself of the exterior kind of looks like someone dumped out a drawer, you know? Like it's just like odds and ends, but it all looks so beautiful in a way.
Normally, I dump into my drawer.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Keep going.
It looks like beautiful chaos. Like I think that it's really interesting. And then you take a closer look at this image. There are people climbing and zooming all around this place.
Because of the exposure, it looks like there are some children flying in the sky.
Yep.
And you'll be able to see that if you subscribe to our Patreon, guys. So,
Have you been to the City Museum, Sam?
Oh, yeah. I love this place. I remember going as a kid, and I remember that whale, and I believe there was a giraffe next to it or near it. And I vividly remember running through the whale's belly.
there's a section right next to the whale, and this is I want to know if you guys remember this as people who I'm sure have been there more than once, I would assume. But next to the whale, there's sort of like this little like slide that goes down under the main floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you can like crawl around in the under part and come back up. It's like the whole place is kind of like a big maze. But I just want to tell you about the one time I went there and a child spilled a full Coke down that slide, and then a different girl ran up and straight like head first down the slide.
Oh, no.
And just was covered in Coke. It was wildly funny. But this whole place has that sticky spilled soda kind of vibe because it's all so like, this is a physical environment that like adults are allowed to be in the play place on this one. And I enjoy that a lot, except for the bruises. Oh, the bruises.
Lots of bruises. You get hurt here.
I don't think I could like crawl because there are like spots where you would have to like get on your hands and knees to get through it. And like, I don't think I would do that now.
And you're like crawling on rebar. Like it's like, it's not, you're not crawling on anything soft. It's hard metal and you're going knee to like knee on that.
Yeah. These kids that are kind of floating in the air, they are like, there's like gaps, like at least the size of your foot. Like you can kind of like fall through the thing, kind of.
Yeah, it's like
it's
wired.
Super scary.
Just like wired. It feels like wire.
Yeah, it's insane that this place is allowed to be open in modern day, like Sue Happy America. To be honest,
And
for real.
And it's like right in the middle of downtown St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like the area beyond the immediate photo is just like office buildings.
Can you imagine working in that office?
So annoying.
Boss, I want to go outside. This place is beautiful. There's a slide that goes down like 7 floors. It's wild how big it is too, and there's like some historical sections as well. Great pick.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more unique things that we've seen in our slide presentations. It's definitely uniquely St. Louis. Let's move on to the next slide here. Silver Dollar City, a family favorite.
Huh?
It's an 1880s mining-themed family theme park. That is a strange theme, but it was built in Branson, Missouri in 1960. The park has 20 standard attractions, 7 roller coasters, and 4 water rides. And it's open from March to December and draws about 2.2 million visitors every year.
Wow.
So we can see in this shot, the vintage feel of the rides. And of the park in general. It feels very old-fashioned, old Americana kind of feel to it. And I believe that this specific photo is taken on some sort of like firefighter appreciation day or activity day. So we have a Dalmatian mascot saying hello to a child.
Is that Dalmatian mascot not normally there?
I have never seen a Dalmatian mascot there.
I've never been to Silver Dollar City.
Oh,
Whoa. Have you?
Oh, dude, I loved Silver Dollar City. It's like it's the standard to which I measure every other theme park, and none have come close.
Really? That good, or just that happy in your memory?
So I think, frankly, I do think a little bit of both because like this place is, first of all, it has won the cleanest amusement park a number of times, which matters a great deal to me.
Yeah, no swearing, right?
Yeah.
And no spilled Coke.
Yeah.
Cleanest amusement park. So like they have like how big is this place, I guess?
Like square footage, I don't really know. Like
generally, is it as big as I'm thinking of like a Six Flags or a Cedar Point, like giant swaths of land with rides in them?
Yeah, I think it gets to like I think I would compare. I would say it's the same. Yeah, and then there's like a strip that is like all old, like mining and like blacksmithing. Like instead of like your typical like the amusement park thing you can buy, you can buy like swords and shit.
Yeah, instead of like a stuffed Stewie Griffin doll, you can get a hammer.
Yeah. Wow. That's a tough choice for me to be honest.
There's a knife shop that I like vividly remember every time I went to, like as a kid.
God
like
damn.
we'd all go and just like look at the knives and be like, this is so
They should absolutely not have that
Yeah,
available
in
at
a
an
What
amusement
is
park.
what is dangerous about being able to purchase a knife and then get on a jangly rocking wooden roller coaster?
Well, this looks like a really nice kind of place. Definitely family friendly. And it was shocking how high this was in the search results when I looked up tourism for Missouri.
yeah.
Everybody loved going to this place. And there are a lot of other theme parks throughout Missouri, and this was like the unanimous favorite.
Did we talk
Yeah.
about Branson the last time we talked about Missouri?
I believe we touched on it.
Did you ever go to Branson, Sam?
Oh, dude, yeah. So Springfield is like 30 minutes north of Branson.
Ah, okay.
So like in terms of
That's where you would go.
destinations, I've been to Branson way more than anywhere else.
Why do I know the name Branson, Missouri? Is it
Like-
culturally important in some way?
Well, Dolly Parton, Dixie Stampede is there. I
Okay,
don't
that's
know
what
if
it
that's
was.
important to
Exactly.
you.
That was
Yeah.
it.
It's also like the big, like one of the big amusement park towns in Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I consider myself what was Dolly Parton's thing called?
The Dixie Stampede.
I'm a bit of a Dixie Stampedophile.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
I think
Jesus
another,
Christ.
another reason you recognize the name Branson is it's the arch enemy version of Ted Danson.
Yes, of course.
Why don't we
Red
move on?
Branson.
Let's move on to the final slide. Take a bow, Missouri. And here we have a shot of Tim on stage taking a bow at the end of his production of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
No, it's not.
Yes, that is Tim.
No, it
That
really
Tim.
is.
Yes,
What the hell?
That is
Wow.
Tim. And then we have,
Where the fuck did you find that?
it's very easy. All you have to do is
Are-
Google Tim Ferrari,
No
Eureka
way.
High School, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Wow, that is easy.
Lots of characters in that search bar, but
That's really upsetting. Do not look me up anywhere else. Any other theater productions I
Tim,
might have been
Do
in
you
there.
not want to always be represented for what you did in middle school theater?
Look, this is high school theater, thank you. But this this is the
Sorry.
good this is the good play that we did, and the other play that I did was quite problematic.
oh, no.
Quite problematic.
Are those stalactites hanging from the top of the theater?
Yeah. It's an existential play. You know, you never know when those things are gonna fall on you, and you might die.
Okay, totally not. I'm not following you on that,
Yeah.
but okay.
Look, you can follow Miss Almendinger.
Almendinger.
Yeah, she was the director of it. Okay.
Wow.
That's so funny. But you're sharing the stage. You're not taking it for yourself. Here you have your co-stars, a picture of a highway,
Yeah,
from
Route
Missouri.
66. Cool.
Route 66, a Minecraft reproduction of the St. Louis Arch,
That's dope. That's
And
actually
then-
pretty dope.
and then finally just an image of some party goers, maybe a party cove, saying "Hooray for Missouri."
Wow.
Why? Why them?
I don't know. Tim was in the production. Why don't we ask him?
I didn't bow with these people at all.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So we came to the end. Sam, we saw some things that spoke to you, some that you never got to experience, and we wrapped up on a beautiful, beautiful slide. I need to know, as a whole, what am I getting out of the three frogs?
I'm gonna sound like a hack if I give all of you guys the full Budweiser, but
Yeah,
that
you
like,
wouldn't want to look bad in front of us.
I am gonna say that's Budweiser.
Yes! Yes!
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations, Anthony.
Yeah,
Only-
really,
only-
really good job.
Only because it's the show me state, and you showed me the state.
Wow.
And I showed you-
Wow, by definition.
It showed you Tim's high school experience.
All right. Well, that was our visual presentation presented by Anthony. We're all taking a bow with me on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Tim,
Really glad.
of course, at the bottom of this photo of you taking a bow, you can see the backs of the heads of a lot of people in the front row.
Are you asking me to identify
Yes,
people?
I am.
I can't identify a single one.
All right, Almendinger, if you're out there and have the reverse photo, you gotta send it to us.
Oh man, Miss A. I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast. I am she's one of my teacher friends. I don't think she listens to this episode, but one time I think we all had like a little bit of a joke that Miss A would sit in the back of the theater because she would always get super stressed out about these productions and just like drink. I don't know if that was
Miss
true.
A.
Don't want to defame Miss A. She's very, very sweet and influential. But you know, that's that. That's the story.
Wouldn't want to defame my teacher, but yeah, apparently she drinks during the productions.
She's retired now, so she doesn't do that anymore. But she does have a theater named after her in Eureka High School.
Wow.
So that's pretty nice. Yeah.
Iconic.
Almond Dinger.
Yeah, hey, the A theater, okay, Miss A. But that was our visual presentation. We're going to move on to our next regular segment where we explore Missouri, not with our eyes, not with our sniffers, and not even with the funnies, but we're going to be exploring Missouri with our taste buds. I have to go get my taste segment from the kitchen, and I'll be right back.
Okay, so real quick, hit the next slide. You'll see Tim's house. No, I'm kidding. I did that last season.
Yeah, Anthony loves showing off the addresses where we spend so much of our childhood time.
Were you ever in a theater production when you were in high school or anything?
No, I took one acting class my senior year of college because like I had to do a fine arts credit. And that was my only experience until I moved to Chicago.
Well, let me tell you, I've seen you perform and it does not show.
And thank you so much.
Yeah,
Like,
really, that is
You
kind of
really
surprising
light
to
up
me.
the stage. You really own it like somebody who's a seasoned veteran of, pounding those boards.
Thank you, Anthony. You as well. I've watched you and Tim perform numerous times and truly enjoyed every time that I have.
Where did Stu go?
I don't know.
Stu just like left the. I'm back. I have my taste segment ready, but Stu is somewhere MIA.
Camden, now's your chance.
Yeah,
Hop
so
under the table.
usurped the
sick.
mic. He's running back. What's he getting? He has a bowl of something. A bowl of.
Just
No,
hot
this
beer.
wasn't supposed to be included. Okay, well, we'll include it anyway. Okay, so what I prepared for you all today is a St. Louis delicacy. It's something that I really can't find anywhere else served at like a restaurant or anything like that. What I prepared for you all is an attempted version of toasted ravioli.
Nice.
Now, one thing about this toasted ravioli is it's totally fucked up. I didn't have any eggs to adhere the breading to the ravioli. So when I tried to fry it, all of the breading kind of fell off, and now it's just kind of a lot of it is burnt.
I mean, okay.
And because it was like this, I decided to just lean into how bad it was and not include any hot marinara sauce, which is something that is very typical of a toasted ravioli
For the
dish.
listener out there, I tried to be a good co-host, and I ran to the kitchen and poured some cold, nice tomato sauce into a bowl, only to return and have Tim lambast me.
And you know what, Stuart, as my co-host, you did a great job. As my friend,
Terrible.
I can't say the same thing. So why don't you go ahead and take a bite out of these toasted ravs? They're all cooked. This is like a pre-made ravioli. I think it's rava, or it's one of those soft rana. It's one of those soft bags, kind of fresh raviolis. And I don't think that it's going to be all that. It's going to be a little bit cold because I cooked them about an hour ago.
And the sauce is so cold, by the way.
Yeah, the sauce is
It's
cold.
ice cold.
So toasted ravioli it's actually what I yelled at you for not preparing last time,
Right.
On season 1. And I have to tell you, when you pulled these out, when you set them down on the table, I was pissed off.
Yeah.
And really upset at you. But after biting it, I got to say, it's really not that bad.
It's like a crispy ravioli now. I mean, the breading isn't all that there, like a traditional toasted ravioli is, but it is hard and it does provide a crunch.
There's a crunch there that's really satisfying. The way this sort of worked out was like, when you're doing something, especially in the creative community, and somebody comes up and they're like, "Oh, I barely worked on this thing, and like it's gonna fucking suck," and I'm sorry, guys. And then they like blow it out of the room, and everyone's like, "Wow, you were so good, and you thought it was bad? No, it's good." Like, Tim, that was this. These taste pretty good.
These are not bad. Did you have a lot of toasted raviolis when you lived in Missouri?
So yeah, but it was never like the thing that I like. It was just always like on the menu, and like you would get it because like it's on the menu at places that it's not just like Italian place. Like everywhere would just have it.
Yeah, it's like a really American dish almost.
Yeah, but like I guess I would be surprised I was surprised that it wasn't just on every menu everywhere when I moved up here, because it's kind of like I think cheese curds might be the Chicago equivalent of just
Totally.
like they just show up and you're like, this isn't like there's no reason for it to be here.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
It's
I
like
love them.
kind of like a mozzarella stick kind of staple on an app
Sure.
menu.
A total appetizer, not an entree for me.
Yeah,
total
I think it's
appetizer.
really interesting that it's not on more menus, considering like I went to Missouri and had them for the first time, and they're super simple, but they're also like really satisfying and good, and they're great like sharing food. I don't understand why it isn't more popular around America. I've never heard of them anywhere else than the one time I went to Missouri.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Also, I don't know what makes it ravioli versus, because there are other stuffed pastas. I
Yeah.
don't know why it's ravioli. Or like
I couldn't say why for this one, because my definition of a ravioli is like a square pressed pasta with a meat filling, whereas like maybe a gnocchi is like potato wrapped in like wraps like cheese or meat.
But you can have like a meatless ravioli for sure. You can have like a cheese ravioli.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
I prefer cheese ravioli to meat ravioli.
Yeah.
Typically.
So I think the best definition that I could pull right now is ravioli is like the pillow shaped the pillow shaped stuffed pasta, and like a manicotti or a stuffed shell are the kind of other shapes that you might see,
Yeah.
and those aren't sealed off.
Yeah. A tortellini is kind of like a ravioli, but with a different shape. So maybe,
Okay.
and maybe it's not speaking on all Italian pastas, but maybe the name is more associated with the shape rather than it is how it is
Yeah.
made.
Okay.
Definitely.
Damn, where'd you guys pick up all this knowledge? It couldn't have been pasta night.
Whoa, yeah, that's totally true. We should know more about pasta for that fucking show. What other foods do you commonly associate with like growing up in Missouri?
Like with my specific childhood, or just like when I think of Missouri.
When you think of Missouri, what do you have? And then maybe answer the childhood question too.
Yeah. When I think of, if I'm thinking like place that's like classically Ozarks or like Southwest Missouri, like Lambert's Cafe is like the thing.
What do you get there?
It's just like fried everything and like gravied everything and like mashed potato, like just like plates of brown kind of thing. They're just super, super good. Like too much food and like fried stuff, I think is really popular. I know St. Louis and Kansas City both are known for their barbecue.
Yeah.
And I like Kansas City barbecue in particular is super, super good.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other like uniquely Springfield things.
When I think of Missouri, I think of like gooey butter cake.
Oh yeah.
That's really it, I think, for me is
You guys,
toasted crabs and gooey butter cake.
You ever like been to like a restaurant in Missouri where maybe they have like 3 or 4 breadsticks on the table making an arch? Is that something they do?
I wish. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Just sort of trying to figure it out.
Yeah. There's Emo's Pizza.
Ugh, disgusting.
So interesting.
Ugh,
You're a St.
good
Louis,
fucking Lord.
St. Louis boy. and
I was
don't
born
like
in New
it.
Jersey.
Okay.
Grew up in New York kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, point my
see,
nose up at pizza.
little- Yeah.
I will say, and I think I said this on our first episode, but I still have a scar on my face from where Emo's Pizza burned me badly.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we'll never go back. So
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's not my favorite pizza either.
Did you have
but
Cecil Whitaker's out where you were? That's like
No.
another like Emo's type,
No.
like Provel cheese.
Oh,
shit.
interesting.
Yeah, that's if Forrest Whitaker was involved in Stu's game.
Did you have Lion's Choice where you were?
No. Oh, I thought you said Lion's Den, like the porn
Yeah, the
shop.
No, not the porn star. No,
How about Tiger's Choice?
Oh wait, Lion's Choice, the steakhouse?
it's like a roast beef fast food.
Oh no. I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
fuck. Well,
wow.
I'll
That's
bet you Emo's Pizza is in the business of misery.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Well,
yeah. No,
can you think of anything else?
yeah. Well, I'm reminded of the Anthony Bourdain did an episode of like the Ozarks, like followed her, and it was fun because I watched it because I was like, oh, cool. But it's like all he just goes out to like these super rural like hick people and is like, eating out here is about survival.
This guy with like a beard is like, okay, I can, sure, I guess.
Two Missouri tastes I wanted to inquire about real quick. What are your thoughts on like that natural honey that your family would produce? What does that taste like? Is it sweeter than a store-bought honey?
Ooh.
Or
So actually, no, I would say, well, first of all, it's like it's cloudier. Like refined honey will be like you can see through it. So this has like the opaque, I guess.
Yeah, like trying to
Waxier.
get sink water at the top floor of a large building.
Yeah, that's it. yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it. I wouldn't call it sweeter. I think it's more natural tasting. It doesn't have like that like corn syrupy like feel to it. I don't think there's corn syrup in like store bought honey, but I don't know.
There probably is.
there
There's
might
like
be.
a sweetness and a richness to it that must be artificial.
Right.
And like how it flows too. You don't get like that syrup quality. It's more like a spoon.
Chunky.
You'll spread it
Right.
more than anything else.
So the other taste I wanted to inquire about is beer. You know, we smelled it earlier, but like Budweiser and these local brewery beers, like do you like the taste of beer, or is it in those specific kind of styles of beer, or no?
Given the discussion that we've had so far, you guys are going to be shocked by this, but I love beer.
And how old were you when you started drinking?
Beer probably like a little later. We like younger. We were just like, let's drink like hard liquor that you can't taste as much. But yeah, no, I like beer. I've come around to like. I still don't know if I love like the microbrew vibe.
Yeah.
Although like it's catered to me and people that look like me. Which
The four of us at this table are literally like the perfect quadrant of beer.
They would be thrilled to serve us IPAs and toasted ravioli.
But you like a big box beer.
I will probably drink anything, to be honest. But I do like Budweiser. I took the Budweiser tour. You can tour like the brewery. First of all, it's huge. And also I learned that I think, I didn't learn this on the tour. I learned this afterward because I don't think they like to talk about it. But I think it's like in the barrels. So it's like Bud Light is just the beer that comes out of the top of the barrel. And then Budweiser comes out of the middle. And then Busch comes out of the bottom.
Whoa.
That's fascinating.
That is kind of fascinating.
I believe that absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Because it's all the same company and they just can it like because I guess shit sinks down.
Yeah, different densities of material. Oh, that's really fascinating.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm definitely betting that the folks down at Anheuser-Busch are hoping you would can it. They don't want their secret spill.
Have you ever had Schlafly beer? That's a St. Louis.
No,
St. Louis
I've never had. So Springfield, it gets I think is more influenced by Kansas City than it is by St. Louis.
Yeah,
at least in the circles that I ran in. But there's like the Casey brewery. I think it's just like Casey. Damn it! Now I can't remember.
Casey
what
and
it
the
is.
Sunshine Brewery.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. No, that bombed. It's okay.
A lot of like a lot of Springfield. Like there's like the Walnut Street like local one that's around Springfield, and I like a lot.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Wow.
Well, much like we enjoy hops and beer, frogs enjoy hops.
God,
So
Jesus
I'm wondering,
Christ.
I'm wondering, on the scale of 3 happy beer drinking frogs, what would you give Tim's toasted ravioli attempt?
Yeah, and keep in mind, Tim said this segment was bad.
He did undersell it at the beginning, which makes me rate it so much higher. Budweiser.
Wow. We have so many frogs in the studio.
Wow, I can't believe it. Another 3 Bud ribbiting frogs. That's 9 frogs so far,
Yeah,
y'all.
puts a lot of pressure on me.
It sure does, Stu. You better have a fucking perfect segment so we get a perfect episode.
To be honest, it also puts a lot of pressure on me that like I don't want to just give a perfect because like
It's like a Scantron test, you know.
Exactly.
You answer 4 seasons in a row, you got something wrong.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be a frogless nightmare on this last one.
No, it's actually good news for your students that you're an easy grader.
I don't think any of my students will listen to this, but I am an incredibly easy grader, or I was. I don't currently teach anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, so I got laid off.
No.
Yeah, but now I work for a nonprofit that is like does like mentoring stuff.
Cool.
So it's cool.
Well, Sam, if it makes you feel any better, you actually still do teach. You're teaching all of our listeners at home a little bit about Missouri.
Thank you, Stu.
Yeah.
I'd like to. I think you guys did a lot more research than I did. You probably know more. You're teaching.
We We teach.
Well, we've explored Missouri with our tongues, with our eyes, with our nostrils, and even with a game. So we're going to move on to our next regular segment where we explore Missouri with our listeners, and not you across the mic, but our ears. Stuart, why don't you take it away?
God damn. Like, Tim, if you want to set up your segment for failure, that's fine, man. But geez. Camden, could you give us our first song?
Hey, we could still be having some sweet memories. This heart still beats for you. Why can't you see it? Shut up, kiss me, hold me tight. Shut up, kiss me, hold me tight.
Woo! Wow. That heavenly voice you just heard wasn't from the lips of an angel. Oh, wait. Yes, it was. That was Angel Olsen. Of course.
I didn't know she was from Missouri.
Yes, born in St. Louis, Olsen wanted to be a pop star as a child until she became a moody teen and changed her interest towards alt-rock and punk, seeing shows in St. Louis venues like the Lemp Neighborhood Art Center. Of course, Tim, you know it well. And Sam, you probably know this place, the Creepy Crawl.
I do not know that.
I don't
They
know
were
it either.
both linked on Wikipedia. Didn't click on them. Thought I'd bring them up. So she moved to Chicago and got really sort of blew up in the alt rock scene out here before signing with a label and releasing her first album. And of course, we all remember from that album the song "Windows" was featured on the season 1 finale of 13 Reasons Why. And I'm sure, Anthony, you can tell us about your opinions on that show.
I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not
Wow.
interested.
That actually speaks volumes.
I saw it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You remember the song at the end?
I don't actually,
Okay.
but I
All
like
right.
Angel Olsen a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's great.
Is it her hair?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her, but I love her voice and her lyrics.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
actually.
she's really
She has a very
impressive.
cool haircut, by the way. And since season 1 of 13 Reasons Why came out, Olsen has released 3 more albums, as well as her 2019 breakout hit, All Mirrors, which received rave reviews from fans and critics alike. These days, she's touring the world, guys, appearing in top 10 lists of artists to watch in 2020. And let's hope we have many more years of music making before this angel returns to heaven.
All mirrors
Aw.
sounds like an exhibit at the City Museum.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
that
you know,
certainly could be.
that really could be. It's not, but it could be.
Sam, Angel Olsen, ringing any bells? By the way, every time a bell rings, Angel Olsen gets her wings. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Jesus
I fucking suck. I shouldn't have even done it.
That
Keep
was
going.
no. I like that.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but I am not familiar with Angel Olsen. I feel bad. But
That's totally okay.
I liked that song
I
little bit.
think she is going to become very famous after this year. Like this album that like really blew her up on people's radars came out, I think, in October of
Oh, wow.
2019. So like I really do think she'll probably become like a mainstay name in that particular genre of music. Anthony?
Yeah, it's just tough to like make a name for yourself when you come from such a famous family. Like, you know, her sisters are so famous.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. 4 sisters and all of them performers in some way or another. Man, out of those 4, there's 4 of us at the table. Out of the 4 Olsen daughters, Angel Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen, Mary Kate, and Ashley Olsen, who's who? And Tim, you're Angel Olsen.
Okay. Great. Well, that solves one.
Anthony, who do you think you are?
I think I'm Mary Kate, you're Ashley, and I'm sorry to make this call for you, but I think you're Elizabeth Olsen, Sam.
That's the other one. I don't know if I'm super. I don't know.
She was in the Avengers. She's the Red Witch.
Do you
okay,
remember
yeah, all right, that's
how you're
awesome.
now a part of the Avengers, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited to be that one. Red Witch was cool.
Red Witch.
That's her
Right.
name,
Her
right?
name is Scarlet Witch.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I mean, it's
fine.
Scarlet.
No,
Scarlet's red.
You're not
It's
far
synonym.
from what it is, but red.
And the Scarlet Witch's alias, Wanda.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Hey, is that where? So her archenemy would be
Mhm.
the Green Wizard, aka Cosmo.
Oh,
Jesus
wow. Sam's arrived. Camden, why don't we go ahead and move on to our next piece of music?
My story's infinite, like the Longines Symphony. It doesn't rest. Luke and Harry in the other by the light switch.
Who watches over you? Build a little birdhouse in your soul. That was They Might Be Giants singing their song, Birdhouse in Your Soul.
Cool.
Yeah, They Might Be Giants, not from Missouri. So why are we listening to this song?
That is a good question. Is it because the arch is so big?
That it might be Giants?
Or maybe it's because all of us Missourians have really big hearts, like a giant does.
Well, Tim, I hate to crush your fucking dreams, but no and no. That was, of course, They Might Be Giants, Birdhouse in Your Soul. Great song, a classic from the 90s, and a classic from a very particular album. See, that was from their hit album, Flood, which ties us into an interesting Missouri tale. You see, we're talking about Jimmy Robert Scott and his Wild Day in 1993. Now, saying that name aloud, I mean, to our two Missouri natives, does that ring any bells? Angel Olsen gets her wig.
Jimmy Scott?
Jimmy Robert Scott.
No, 1993 rings bells because that's a big flood year.
Okay.
I didn't know that, and I don't know Jimmy Roberts. Damn it.
I mean, but flooding in general, something that hits Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a lot of flooding.
So you would say that there are like people every certain times of the year, especially flood seasons, whatever that might be, you have to go and reinforce levees along rivers to make sure that communities don't flood.
Right.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I lived close to the James River. Is that where James... What's that guy's name? James Robert Scott?
Jimmy Robert Scott?
Oh, maybe the James River is where the river nearest where I lived, and it flooded often. Yeah.
Well, then you'll have a personal connection to this story, Sam. You see, Scott was a wild man, had a bit of a criminal record, and a girlfriend whom he didn't much like. You see, one night he hatched a plan to intentionally flood the area near his girlfriend's job, stranding her there so he could have a wild weekend of drinking and debauchery. This is something every guy, we've all been there, right? You just wish that you could flood your girlfriend's place of work so that you could just hang out with the boys for a weekend. Unfortunately, Scott destabilized an important part of a levee to achieve his master plan and ended up flooding nearly 15,000 acres of land, as well as destroying countless bridges and causing millions in damage.
What a dumbass.
Yep. Initially thought to be an act of God that caused the flood, he got off scot-free. Nobody knew he did it, but then he bragged at a party about how he caused the flood that summer and was arrested, found guilty, and sentenced with 20 years to life for intentionally causing a catastrophe. He remains in prison to this day.
Whoa, he's still alive?
Yes, 1993, not that far ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and he is probably, I think, one of the only people in America who has ever been successfully arrested for causing a catastrophe.
Yeah, it's not like you can really cause earthquakes.
Yeah, most acts of God are very hard for you to be a part of, you know?
So you're saying that Jimmy
Robert Scott.
Jimmy Robert Scott is a god?
I'm saying our first segment was about an angel. Why not?
Wow.
1993, not that far ago, but the people who needed to get across the river had very far ago to get around it. They had to drive for like miles, like halfway across the state to get to another point to cross the river.
I thought this was going to be a joke.
Yeah, me too.
The way you set it up. Yeah, but that was like an actual fact. Yeah. It was a massive problem for the local economy. Tons of like businesses were destroyed. His girlfriend, fine. She was fine. Don't worry about that, guys. And they're still together to this day.
Huh.
Wow. If you can get arrested for creating a catastrophe, Rob Delaney and Sharon Horgan better be on notice.
Oh my God. Wow. Who was that for?
People with Amazon Prime and time on their hands.
Oh boy. Obviously that was just a little story that I discovered while researching Missouri.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
very weird. Have you guys ever gone to any long stakes to avoid any like small problem? I like this is just obviously this man threw away his life to have like a nice weekend with his friends. He probably could have just asked his girlfriend to, I don't know, at the time.
I don't think so. I'm pretty direct when I do things, but maybe in my life I've done something really dumb and long-winded to get out of something. I don't know.
Anthony?
Yeah, I feel like there have been times where sometimes I'll come up with a long-winded excuse to get out of being direct because I hate conflict, but I think I'm getting better about that. I think that's something that I haven't really done since I was a young child. I think I would kind of like, there was a period of my life when I would like, get in trouble on the playground.
Uh-oh.
And then when a teacher would call me out on something, I'd, produce some bullshit excuse that was so obviously fake from an adult's perspective.
Sam, has a child ever lied to you so obviously, but you like let it go because it was interesting enough of a story?
I mean, I'm sure. Yes. I'm trying to think of a specific example right now of that. I'm gonna keep thinking. I know I've done that, or like I haven't lied, but I like told a professor like I was taking this like lit ethics class.
It was lit.
Yeah, it was.
I was taking this lit ass ethics class.
And I had like the final paper, and I remember I was I forgot what I was doing, but I did not write the paper. And I like emailed the professor, and it was just like I ended up having something else going on, and I couldn't bring myself to write a bad paper for you, so I just didn't write one.
Did you ever turn in a paper for that?
Well, so eventually, yeah, but it was like well past the deadline. But he responded. He's like, "Look, thanks, I guess, but like I need you to do this. Like you have to get this done."
That sucks because there have been times when I have sent things to professors where like I genuinely go like, things have happened in my life that I'm sorry I was not able to write you a paper this week. I will get it to you, and I just want, as two adults, me and you, we can talk about the fact that I will complete this thing for you in a short amount of time. And it really sucks when the other person on that line goes like, no.
Yeah. I do remember now one kid in my first period class. So I taught sophomore English. So they were like 15, 16 years old. And he was just like absent or not present for like first period every day. But he would like show up later in like, so he would just miss my class and then show up for later classes. And I was like, dude, you have to be here. And he told me that he was dropping his brother off at his school. And it's like my mom works late, so I have to like take him to school and then come here. And I was like very sympathetic, and I was like, "Damn, like, okay, like you don't have to. I guess we can work around that or whatever." I found out like he was doing that sometimes, but he was also just like playing basketball in one of the gyms. Like
he was at school.
Yeah, he was at school, just in a different part, like unsupervised part of the school, with like a group of other kids. They would just like skip first period to play basketball, and we're like, all the teachers were like, "What the like?"
I would get suspended if I did that at my school.
Yeah, well, so my school had a handful of administrative problems. Like it was not super. There wasn't a lot of consequences for anything.
Yeah,
wow.
Weak leadership, a lot like our country today.
Okay,
you fucking take it to the White House, Stuart.
Yeah. I'll take it right to them. Well, with that, I think we can take it to our next sound segment for Missouri. Camden, hit it.
That it's hard for you to say the things we both know are true. But tell me how come I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I keep forgetting.
Sick.
things we're not.
Fucking dope. Smooth.
Yes. Well, guys, on the last Missouri episode, I unveiled the secret info that rapper Eminem was actually born in Missouri before moving to Detroit. Everyone was shocked. We listened to Venom. Still a great song. But now we're talking about a different kind of Eminem. That's right. Michael McDonald.
Hell yeah.
Wait, what?
Michael McDonald.
Hell yeah. Iconic voice.
Absolutely. One of the holy apostles of yacht rock. Mikey McDees was born in Ferguson and as a young man learned to sing and strum the guitar in a multitude of local Christian bands. In the early 70s, he left for the West Coast to pursue music. Now, you probably know Michael McDonald's voice from a bunch of bands that he joined after they had already formed, and then he helped like make them famous. Steely Dan, the Doobie Brothers. He wrote songs for tons of other artists, people like Van Halen, James Ingram, Patti LaBelle. He was a very prolific artist, and I think his voice is, as we just heard there, very specific. I think it works with one kind of music, and he just made that genre his own. So he gave vocals for, again, Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers, and then went solo in the 80s, where he earned something like 5 Grammys and an honorary doctorate from the Berklee College of Music. I think recently, I mean, like, he still tours and does all sorts of stuff. He still sells out large venues because older people love Michael McDonald's voice. And I mean, I also like Michael McDonald's voice. I think he's got a sultry, sultry sound. But Anthony, let me ask you, would you spend an extended time in a car with Michael McDonald?
Maybe a couple hours. We could have fun singing back and forth, some good old road tunes. I don't know. I have a lot of questions for him. But I think that his voice is really interesting to me, and I don't want to listen to it for an extended period of time.
Sure.
But I think that peppered in here and there, it's fun and uplifting.
Sam, you think yacht rock, the sort of high, strained voice of Michael McDonald, do you think that represents St. Louis and Missouri as a whole?
I'm curious to know what he sounds like, just like conversationally. Like
That was a secret recording of him having a conversation where he says, "I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore."
Michael.
To me, he kind of sounds like another Michael that is probably present on the stereos of many single family boats. Michael Bolton.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he
a
does
little
Bolton.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's because they were both from that same area of like, I am a dude who's going to be singing a very romantic song, but like hard at you in the 80s.
Yeah.
So like it's sexy and fun, and probably has a ponytail.
Michael Bolton was also on a yacht in the famous music video for "I'm on a Boat," Lonely
I
Island.
believe you're thinking of the song Jack Sparrow.
You're right. I am. He was on a boat for that one too.
And that boat
They
was
like
destined
boats.
for Party Cove.
That's right, baby.
Ooh.
Well, I think we can move on to Party Cove, which is the final song we're going to be listening to in this segment. So, Camden, just go ahead and hit it.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money.
Kenny Rogers. Guys, Kenny Rogers, also not from fucking Missouri. Why are we listening to it? It's so that we can talk about your hometown of Rogersville. Obviously. And I can see that I'm already helping you out, Sam, by making it very easy for you not to look like a hack and give me 3 Budweiser frogs. But we're going to be talking about Rogersville a little bit. Again, population of around 3,200 people as of the census of 2010. And I want to play a little game with you, Sam, specifically. We've played this before with Morgan Chete on our Ohio episode. I'm going to tell you a few famous landmarks from Rogersville, and you're just going to tell me the first noise that comes to your head and why that noise embodies that place.
That's so much
Great.
fun, Stu.
Thank you. Thanks. Ready? The first place, the Smolin Civil War Cave.
A gunshot.
Wow. Okay. Why that?
Well, okay, so Civil War, but it reminded me because I think if I'm thinking of the right place, and I might not be,
Could
but
be.
I remember going on a field trip
Mhm.
to like Civil War reenactment thing, and we had to like dress up and like participate as if we were like fighting or whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was really odd. I remember I got in trouble because the general or whatever, like we were lined up and he was like, anybody who doesn't want to, like anybody who's not brave enough, like step out. And then like I stepped out of line as a joke. Then he like actually made me not participate for the whole day. And I was like really disappointed.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. It was devastating for me.
At least you were really funny with that joke, I bet.
Yeah, everybody laughed.
And they all stood up and clapped. And the Civil War ended. Wow.
No one
Okay.
laughed.
Let me give you this place. The Ozark Raceway Park.
Vroom.
Stu, this is killing.
So far, so good. You spent any time at the Ozark Raceway Park?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if you know where, like, do you know where this is located, or do you have that pulled up?
Right outside of Rogersville, there was one review on TripAdvisor, and it was someone saying the races always start late. 1 star out of 5. So
Yeah.
does
Okay.
that help in any way?
So there is a drag racing strip that is like outside of Rogersville a little ways.
Mm.
That is just like there's no chairs. Like you have to like everybody just drives their trucks or cars, and it's just like kind of a mud around. Like, so everybody drives in, and then you just watch like the drag race happen. I've been there a couple times.
That's sick.
I would give it. Yeah, it is pretty sick.
All that mud, I'd say it's slick.
Oh, we can only hope so. We can only hope so. Hey, well, I've got one more for you here. Can I hear what sound you associate with the wild animal safari?
You got this.
Rawr.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You
Dude,
read my mind.
I only think that because there are actually tigers at that wild animal
Look at
safari.
that.
Yeah.
And isn't that incredible? And how I earned my 3 frogs is that I brought it into a full round circle.
You've earned your 3 frogs already?
I absolutely did. Let me ask you, Sam, are there anywhere like other places in Rogersville that we need to know about? Those were just 3 random places that sparked my interest. And trust me, those 3 sound effects, those are good. But you got anything else?
There is the like the red caboose that is just in the middle of downtown.
And what sound would that make?
Choo choo.
Okay, yeah, sure.
yeah.
Makes sense.
I had I don't know. It's just right there. A gazebo is next to it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's a cool spot.
Well, I think I'm going to end my segment with that kind of energy. Guys, pretty fun one, huh?
Yeah. I see. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that that caboose didn't make the same noise. Chugga chugga. But I guess that's more accurately heard at Party Code.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, Sam, you're gonna have to review my sound segment. And honestly, I have left the door open for you to really hurt me. So, emotional vulnerability, not my strong suit, but I'm giving you the knife and I'm opening the breastplate of my armor. So, you tell me, Sam, how many Budweiser frogs do I get?
Bud Wise.
Wow. And that's all.
That's it. Wow. You know what?
I'm so sorry that I didn't say I should.
You were right. I saw your hand lift.
I was about to, and then I was like, I
No.
felt like there was too much lead up.
But to err is human, you know? And c'est la vie, I suppose. A message to the French, c'est la vie. Missouri, c'est la vie. Okay, end of my segment. Bye.
So we've explored Missouri with our listeners, not you across the microphones, but our ears. We've explored Missouri with our taste buds, with our eyes, with our noses, and even with some games. We're going to go around the circle, starting with Anthony to Sam to Stuart, then to myself, to talk about how Missouri touches our hearts. Anthony?
This episode made me sick to my stomach because I drank that warm beer so quickly into the episode, which was a really bad mistake. Never do that. But you should go to Missouri. I think Missouri is a really interesting place. There's a lot about it that I am not a major fan of, but I think as a whole, I've had such pleasant experiences there, and I know a lot of really great people from Missouri. Especially Tim and Tim's family. I know you're not from Missouri, but it's where you became Hamlet. And you became a lovely young man. And I really am looking forward to going back to Missouri. I need to go to Kansas City. That's the next place I want to go when I'm there. I want to really get my hands on some barbecue. My barbecue experience in Missouri was a little disappointing just because it took like 3 or 4 hours to get served at this place that I stopped on the way out when we were at your place to look at the eclipse. But I can't really hold that against the state as a whole. I do think there is like a rural elegance to it. There's definitely like a big party culture, but it's also, as we saw in the presentation, it's got a lot of culture to it and really unique, interesting corners to it, and lots of things to do that you might gloss over if you reduce it to a flyover state. I definitely want to go back, and I think that as a whole, it's really grown on me since we started the show.
Sam.
I guess my first feeling is worry that I represented Missouri in a more maybe I don't drink that much, and and neither do the citizens of Missouri necessarily. I love Missouri. I have a ton of friends. All of my family, or all my family on my mom's side lives down there. I really value it. I think I've done more growing in the past 3 years since I moved to Chicago than I did in the first 22 in Missouri.
Whoa.
And I think I value that, and I like where I'm at as a person now a lot more than who I was when I was in Missouri. But I can look back fondly and appreciate it for what it was, and it gave me a good upbringing, fond memories, and yeah, I look forward to returning. I'm going back in June for my brother's wedding.
Wow, congrats to your brother. That's
congratulations.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so I love it.
Stuart.
I think Missouri is a lot like Stephen King's book Misery, in that it seems like a nice place at first, but Tim, the way you described it as like a place that you had to escape so quickly after high school, I think it can sometimes feel like you're trapped there against your will. I think there are some parts of it culturally that might be a little more conservative than maybe the rest of the world, but I do think more or less when I think of Missouri, I think of, and I know you don't want to hear this, Tim, but I think of a southern state that is as close to the north as you can be. I know the arch is a gateway to the west, but for me, Missouri's a gateway to the north. And I think that also means that it's only like a step behind most blue states in America. And while it's not all political, I think it also seems to have a burgeoning party atmosphere and a lot of cool kids hanging out there as well, who I think will blossom into full-grown adults. I think Missouri is a good state. I think it's a good place to grow up. Everyone I've met from there seems like they had a really great childhood there, but I've all heard the same thing of like, and now I'm glad that I'm somewhere else doing something else, you know? So for those who are still stuck there, like Paul Allen from the book Misery, with his legs hobbled in the bed, don't worry. Eventually, your legs will heal, and you will take the secret manuscript you hid under the mattress and walk out to the snowbank of your crashed car and drive home to New York. The nightmares may not cease, but hey, you're not going to be doing much sleeping anyway.
The last time we talked about Missouri was like about a year and a couple months ago. And since then, I've met a lot of new people, and I've had to explain myself that I'm from New Jersey and Missouri both simultaneously. But over this past year, I've cut off the New Jersey bit and only included the Missouri bit just to make things easier.
Wow.
Thank you, Stuart. I've grown, I know, in a year and a couple months. But I assume more of that part of Missouri identity on myself now than I did just a year ago. I think I appreciate it a little bit more with time. I like there are a lot of people with a little bit of a southern drawl or and I'm saying southern, Stuart, but it is in the Midwest, right, Sam?
Yeah, and frankly, it's more Midwest than I think of like Wisconsin and like Minnesota. Those are like the North, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're Midwestern in my lens.
I see what you mean.
I understand the argument, but what you guys need to know is that Missouri is as deep south as you can get. You guys are a couple of chuckle fucker living down in the south kind of guys.
Hey,
right?
yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna argue. We can talk off.
Missouri is
we'll throw hands later.
Yeah.
Missouri is as down south as Michael McDonald's voice is up north.
Yes! Okay. I have just a little Missouri joke that I was, cooking up. We were talking about the flood and the floods of Missouri, but the only floods that I was defeating were on Forerunner capital ships in Halo as Master Chief. I was destroying little flood.
Cut the mic.
And that was my scariest. It was the scariest moment for me in Missouri when the flood first appeared on screen of the Halo games. I turned off the Xbox and that was it. If you have any questions or concerns about the Great 50 States of the Statesmen, reach out to us on Twitter at StatesmenPod, on Facebook and Instagram at Statesmen Podcast, or by email at statesmenpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Patreon and support the show if you'd like. It helps the show out a lot, of course, at patreon.com/statesmenpodcast. Sam, Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
It was absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you, Sam. You're a very you seem like a real person, which I really appreciate.
Thank you. I am.
Not that we don't have okay,
As opposed
all
to
No. I'm sorry.
Our other guests are also real human people, I promise. But you seem like you are a very I don't know. You are your own person, and I really have enjoyed talking to you about Missouri today. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah. Thank you. I've really enjoyed talking to all three of you. Stu, it's a pleasure to meet you. Anthony, Tim, pleasure to see you guys. Cam,
Wow, kind of a fucking
nice to meet you too.
Yeah, with me and Cam.
I'm saying meet you. I met you guys for the first time tonight. The other two I've known for a while now.
I see how it is.
Yeah, and it's such a pleasure. Every time you walk into a room, people get excited because you just bring such a positive attitude.
Totally.
And you really bring that positive attitude to the stage as well. Every time I've seen you play, your characters are so like rich and full of wonder, and it seems like you're learning throughout the scene, even though you're a teacher. You know, you have a teaching history. You're going into scenes and you're so playful, and I really, really appreciate that. And I can't wait to see your show.
So, Sam, anything to plug coming up in the end of February, and also after those plugs, would you mind giving me your final score for what you think the Super Bowl will be?
Ooh, okay, yeah. So plugs. So my Second City House Co. team will be opening on February 15th. We will be called, it's the Supermodel UN show brought to you by The Cousins. 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. We go until like April, so definitely check that out.
And congrats on that. That's like Anthony had just finished up that program, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and it's been so awesome to watch you guys grow as a team. You started out at such a high point already. So much killer talent on that team, and watching you guys grow into your process and put together a show has just been so fascinating to see and really heartwarming. And I genuinely cannot wait to see your show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hyped for it. That group is so talented. On that group is Steven Dion, who is a huge fan of this podcast and from Rhode Island. If y'all need a person from
Steven,
you're about to
I hope
get
you're
the tap.
listening. Here's the thing. If Steven doesn't reach out to us, we know he didn't listen to the past the sound segment. So that tells us a lot.
Also, shout out or plug the Chiefs. If you don't have a fandom, we're a fun one to be a part of right now.
You're inviting people to bandwagon?
Hey, look, I'm wearing the shirt. I can invite people to bandwagon. I don't really have anything else going on, I don't think, right? So that's all my plug. Final score of the Super Bowl, I predict will be 42-28 Chiefs.
Wow. A high-scoring game.
Shootout.
Yeah, a shootout like Mahomes. He's going to bring it. I'm not scared of that defense. Let's go.
Beautiful.
Man, well, I know one person who's going to be watching the Super Bowl. Your sister, right?
Oh, my sister is going to, her and her boyfriend Max will absolutely.
She has a boyfriend and I freaking said something bad about her?
Yeah, dude.
That's not going to beat me up.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to rip that little dickie off.
And snort cocaine off.
He's gonna rip Little Dicky off. He's gonna make a weird rap
So
song.
make a
shut the
cool,
fuck
funny
up.
rap video about weed, about you, Stu.
While we're talking about Little Dickies, just wanted to mention I sat on one of my balls during this episode, and I almost threw up during the food segment. I also want to plug my Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Highcar. Funny content on there in the written word or in pictures. Of course, my Instagram looks private until you follow it, and then I'll have to join you. But that's what you got to do, Anthony.
My Instagram and Twitter are both I'm a Rossi. I am no AM. It's I am a Rossi. And I, post funny things, but that's also where I post a lot of show updates. So definitely give it a follow. Pasta nights will probably be going on in the future. You got to check those out. But
Great
my
show.
main plug is that you need to hop on the fucking Patreon, folks.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Please.
Or Tim's sister's boyfriend's gonna come find you.
Yeah. I need money to hire a personal bodyguard, or else Max is gonna strip me down and rip my little dicky off. Anyway, his name's Dave. The FX show coming out soon.
I have just to plug my Instagram at young_garlic, YUNG_garlic. You can find a lot of my show plugs there. Some of my paintings, my pictures. And then I also have an art show in April, starting, I think, April 15th at Chocolate City. And not Poo Poo City, but Chocolate City, which is a dark matter shop. My work will be in the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
Very fun.
Ooh, that is cool. I didn't
it
know.
is at Poo Poo City.
Yeah.
It is, in a way, yes. Yes.
I didn't know we were doing socials. I do have.
Yeah,
I do have my Twitter is at Sam Brady 17. Then my Instagram is at Sam Brady LOL.
Yeah,
Nice.
Sam Brady 17, connoting your age.
It is the year that it is the age that I started my Instagram.
Nice.
Or not-
1917.
yeah,
Yeah.
1917.
We remember it well.
Me and Lewis and Clark all tweeting.
Oh
together.
boy. Wow, that's about as wrong as the quarter is on history. All right. Well, on behalf of my junior statesman Anthony Rossi and Stuart Highcar, I'm your elder statesman Tim Ferrari. State positive?
Hey, yeah, a Canadian beauty queen. Guess what her name is? Miss Sorry.
Jesus Christ. And the episode and the podcast.
Arch nemesis, more like arch cannabis. I'm talking about that gateway crop.
What is this?
What is that? What is that?